the content. That's right. All right, let's try this again. Apologize for that. One of my children was downloading things in his
Mm.
bedroom while I'm trying to do a show. Gotta love
And I,
that.
sh- I shuffled over my child so you couldn't hear the rumbling of him sawing logs in the background.
Is he already passed out?
Oh yeah, he was passed out before you had to reset it. Yeah.
July 31st through August the 14th, Commander skill changes are coming for free. If you guys are going to play clan battles, that's a thing.
Hmm.
Which, according, well, that's all I got. Rogue Wave is over. What'd you overall think of Rogue Wave?
I think okay. So Rogue Wave, I thought was a cool game mode.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it tested some cool stuff, but the event around it was kind of I would failure is probably a bit strong of a word. Um, I would say a bit too overbearing.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it became a chore at one point. Grinding out all those credits, and it was cool to play the mode, but the amount you had to play it to actually get the rewards was insane. Yeah, it was
You could
too
only
long. It was
miss
too much to
two
do.
days, if I remember correctly. You could only miss 2 days of not having, not actually doing the daily missions, or you would
Hmm.
lose. You would lose your. You would lose the Benham, and you wouldn't be able to get the Benham. Now,
Oh
the
yeah.
question is, do you think the Benham was worth the grind? If somebody was to go through and grind it.
Um, like so. I mean, that's like worth is like okay. What's a person's time? But like, is the
Right.
Benham a really good ship? Yeah, I've been calling the Benham one of the most overpowered ships they've
Oh,
released since the
absolutely.
Kamikaze R.
I mean,
Um,
I remember, and I've said this a lot, and I'll say it again, that and every feedback that I gave during the testing phase is that you got to raise this reload. You got to raise this.
yeah.
75 to 80 seconds is fine, uh, or you leave it at 9.2 and give it the 65 seconds. But they
Yep.
buffed it to 10 and a half. So
I thought the 9.2 was fine. 'Cause it added kind of like this weird. You're a bit more of a torp boat, but you have lots of Benson torps at tier 9. I thought that was a cool little
little,
thing. I thought that was fine.
yeah.
And then they buffed it to basically spamming out Fletcher torps, boy, and I was just like, holy shit.
It's
So
it's overpowered. And do you think they'll nerf it after a while? I know now that
no,
now that it's out there, man, and now that it's out there, uh, and we're gonna start seeing some stupid monster games from this thing. I expect to see 280,000, by in within the next 2 weeks, if not today. You know, I mean, you'll see it. You'll see way too many high damage games from this thing, and the average damage is going to go through the roof on this thing.
I'm actually gonna check it because I've been watching it for a while now,
Yeah,
and the thing is, I don't think should they nerf it. Yeah, they shouldn't have. Okay, well, should they nerf it? They shouldn't have ever released it like this. I think it's
agreed.
much too strong. Will they? Well, it's gonna be a giant shitstorm if they do. But will they nerf it? Probably not. I mean, the average damage continues to drop. It's the average win rate continues to drop. The average experience, everything's continuing to drop, and it's not. It wouldn't be considered overpower anymore.
Right.
It was like the top. I think it was the top damage for a while. Not the top win rate because I had the news, the latest steel ship, but that's to be expected. But I mean, the Kitakaze does more damage than this ship now on average, and it
Yeah.
has a comparable win rate. So, will they nerf it? No. If they do, dude, batten down the hatches because
It's a shitstorm, boys. Here it
oh my
comes.
god, I've made the joke that like if they do, it's gonna be insane. But
Yeah, there's people
no, I
out
don't think
there
they
that
will.
bought it the first day, and it was something like $235 to just buy all
Yeah,
the
something
boxes to
crazy.
get enough. Which we're sitting here chatting with the guys that hang out in the channel, and they were like, "Well, you know what? I'm just going to work it up, and if it gets to the last week and I haven't got it yet, or if I'm not going to be able to make it, then I'll just supplement with the boxes." And I'm like, "Oh, well,
Hmm.
that's the smartest thing to do, really. If you're not going
Yeah.
to be able to earn the boat all the way through, just grind it down as far as you possibly can."
Yep.
Finish out, get the hill, play those 3 field tokens a day, and then move on. But that takes us into the next boat, the hill. That thing is ridiculous. That thing is
Yep.
so strong, man. I remember the first day that it was in my port for testing. I had 7 kills on it, and we lost.
Yep.
And it was just I just murder, murder, murder. The guns are redonkulous, and if you play it like it's my take on it, it's like a Clemson, but souped up Clemson, and just not quite as good as the Nicholas, or maybe even better than the Nicholas. But you play it like the Clemson with the ambush torpedoes and just monster with your guns, dude. You're a beast. That thing
Dude,
is nasty.
if you have the ability, because it's premium, so you can throw a high level captain down there.
Yeah.
So like throwing on the alt account that I played on all the time, you throw like a 17-point captain in there where you have concealment expert, radiolocation, BFT. I mean, you just obliterate other
Everything.
DDs. Everything. You just absolutely obliterate. And when it first came out, there was people talking about how like, oh man, this ship sucks, blah blah blah. And I was like, dude, they need to nerf this thing. Then they did nerf it, and it is what it is right now.
It's still
And
strong.
it is a monster. I love playing it because I love going against like the Seal Club or Kamikaze R's. That's always our favorite. And
Hey,
that
buddy,
it's
how's
my
it going?
addiction now. That thing is so good, so good.
And surprisingly enough, I don't play a whole lot of tier 5s. I think I spend most of my
I
games
don't either.
anywhere from 6 to 10 or whatever anymore. But I definitely I've been enjoying the playing this every day. At least for the Benham field tokens or whatever, in and out and stuff like that. But I've actually really enjoyed the hill, and what it can actually do, and just the presence that it brings. Just just dominate caps, and run up on people and give them the 5.5 kilometers of greatness.
I mean, you even go up and if you pop a smoke, because the majority of people, I mean, you go in and you contest a destroyer and you do that madness, and then get close to a cruiser that doesn't really know what they're doing. You're playing against people that really kind of don't know what they're doing in a lot of the situations, and you can just citadel Everly and hell out of people. Yeah, I'm averaging almost 70k in my hill right now.
That's nuts, man. That's nuts.
Yeah.
That's a lot of damage, especially coming out of tier 5. That's like battleship level damage at tier 5. Unless you're talking about the Julius Caesar, which is still averaging more damage than the tier 6s, from what I understand. But that's another story. Hill's a great boat. If you guys got a chance to play it, or if you guys earned it and y'all didn't play it yet, go out there and play it, man. Bring down your Gearing captain, bring down whatever captain that you got up there that's 16, 17 points, and just really see how strong that boat can be, because it is nuts at
Monster.
that one. Yeah. All right, so they released the information: the Smolensk, the Summers, the Friesland, the Colbert, and the Ohio. They've released how they were going to be distributed to everybody. Smolensk is coal, the Summers is going to be a steel ship, the Friesland is free XP, the Colbert and the Ohio are going to be the Naval Training Center. The biggest question I'm getting about this: how much? How much do you think? I've gone off of 750,000 for the Friesland. It probably needs to be more than that, but we saw the last one was a what was the last one? It was like $1 million for the Alaska or something like that.
Yeah, I think they've all
cruiser.
been $1 million since the Musashi.
Something
I think they've all been $1 million now.
Something like that. I think for DD
No, Musashi was
750,000. Yeah.
Yeah, it depends on how they're gonna do it. It's do they go off tonnage? Do they go off of normal ship? Blah blah blah. It's a tier 9 tier 9 DD. Is it going to be equivalent to a tier? So I imagine 750 is a good round number for 800 maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, I'd shoot for $1 million. Shoot for the 750,000, but don't be surprised if they do drop it for $1 million. Just like here's your new minimum. Everything is going to be a minimum of $1 million free XP for a lot of people out there that have been playing the game for a long time. That's just a drop in the bucket. I know loads of people who have tens of millions of free XP out there. Maybe not so many, but there are out there. Smolensk's coming out for coal. This thing needs to be like 300,000 coal.
You think it's gonna be that much?
Well,
I mean, yeah, stuff like this.
It was 248 for the Yoshino, or 228, something like that. for the Yoshino, and we saw 200 and 200 and a quarter for the John Bart and stuff like that. I think I honestly, dude, this thing needs to be a million coal because nobody needs to buy this thing. This thing is broken. Broken good, broken in a strong way. It's a very
Oh
strong
yeah,
ship,
it's
dude.
stupid.
This thing is ridiculous. We're talking about the Smolensk. I don't know, probably be around the same as the Yoshino when it comes out, but which is again a drop in the bucket. I know I'm sitting on 400,000 coal with nothing to spend it on, so
Yeah. I definitely think probably like 250, somewhere around there would
yeah.
be my guess. It's a higher tier, but it's a smaller ship. How are they going to weigh that? They have their own way of figuring out stuff, but I mean, does it cost more than a tier 9 battleship? Are they, what are they going to do there? So I would say probably around 250K. I mean, you can still only get so much coal so fast, but with the upcoming event, there's going to be that whole thing.
Yeah, we'll talk
Spamming
about
all
that in
that,
a
getting
second.
that coal.
Yeah,
Yeah. But yeah, does a small lens need to be in the game? No, it's terrible for the game. It's an
yeah, it's
HE spam.
terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's been my feedback since day one on it.
yep,
But it's definitely worth getting. It's going to be the one that people saying, "Hey, what do you have? Hey, do you have the Jean Bart? Yes, then get the small lens."
yep.
I still think Jean Bart is still going to be the most fun coal ship in the game, but that's just my opinion.
I'm
The
I'm
small
in
lens definitely going to want to get it.
I'm in the same category. I'm in the same category with you. I'm not a big fan of the Georgia. It's fine, whatever. It does what it does. But I think Joe Bart just has more impact on the game overall, or potentially impactful of the
Mhm.
game than the Georgia does. So yeah, John Bart, you got that? All right, get the small links. That's your next buy. Save up for that one, and then filter out whatever you get
Yep.
eventually. As for the Summers is coming out for Steel. What did you think overall on the Summers? I thought it was fine. It just kind of a nerfed up gearing with big ass torpedoes.
Yeah, it's a nerf gun wise. You can still get the guns pretty low on it, so it can still defend itself.
Four and a
It's a
half
Shima.
seconds.
It completely replaces the Shima. It's another kind of nerf to the Shima. Um, so Summers, it's going to be a torp spammer with a bit of a USN flavor. So I mean, I like it. I'm debating on getting that compared to the Bourgogne, but with the Bourgogne, the new French commander coming out, probably still get the Bourgogne on my alt account. That is.
Right.
But definitely gonna. I'll probably pick up the Summers on my main account though. It's a good ship. I enjoy it. I enjoy USN DDs.
Uh, was it 20,000 for the Nooster Shimmy, and
Yeah,
something
like
like 22.5
or
or something
something.
like that for the Stalingrad or something.
Yeah,
The only two that I don't have steel is the Nooster Shimmy and the Stalingrad, and I'm like,
yeah,
do I really want to buy the Stalingrad? I'm not a big fan of the Russian boats. The Russian sit still and just sling whatever. So
yeah.
I'm saving up my steel for the Summers when it comes out. I'm gonna get it as soon as I can.
Yep.
Which overall I enjoyed playing it. It was an interesting boat. The only downside to this, because you don't have the traditional dual purpose 127s, your AA is terrible.
Yeah, you don't
It's
have
like
any.
it's 6 and it's like 1.9 kilometers. So you literally can leave your AA button your AA
Mhm.
on and still shoot things down, or not shoot things down, whatever, because you only got 6 rating on it. Steel probably be somewhere comparable, 20,000 or so. I think.
I think they'll probably put it a little under that price wise. I think we'll probably see some closer to like 18 or something.
Mhm.
I would assume because it's just a smaller ship. I think they do a lot of stuff off of like size. I think there's going to be a constant level of inflation to a point,
You
but
you wouldn't think
um,
that they would make it more than the tier 9 Nooster Shimmy?
I don't know. I don't think so.
Don't think so.
So, or very comparable. But I
Right.
find it hard to, even with the inflation of steel, I find it hard for them to really have a DDB more than like the Stalingrad.
Right.
So you're kind of, if it's more than that, um, you're getting up to cruiser level for steel.
Hmm.
So I feel like it's going to be at or a bit lower than the news.
Now, as we know, Naval Training Center is on its way out, and the only way that you can get the Colbert, which is another boat that doesn't need to be in the game, and the Ohio, which is just a beefed up. I guess it's on a Montana frame. It kind of looks like it's on a Montana frame from what I can see, but it's got the big
Yeah, it is.
457s of the Georgia, and it's got the secondaries of the Georgia, or
Yeah, it's
better.
basically a tier 10 Georgia.
Yeah. We don't know how much that's going to be.
No.
Some new resource that they're going to bring out just for the Naval Training Center itself. I'm excited about Naval Training Center. It means I don't have to open up a new account anymore. I could just, reset. Okay, guys, we're going to do this. Bang. And then, spend a week on this line or a week on that line or however many lines it takes
Well, see, that's
to
the
get from the
bummer for
thing.
me, man.
You
Now I
got
gotta do
like
double grind. So
you got like 8 million new accounts, man.
yeah, right.
Really doing that recruitment center for yourself, aren't you?
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's make a new account. Man.
I've seen. Speaking of the new recruitment center, uh, I've seen there's tales here from the EU server of the Coney Burger bots. Have you seen these?
Yep. Yeah, yeah.
Ridiculous at the amount of these things that are actually out there, and it's all trying to boost somebody on the training or the recruitment centers. So they can get those bonuses, from Amazon or whatever.
Hey, man,
What do you think?
it's somebody's grind. The opportunity's there. Don't hate the player, hate the game. So
Right.
they're doing. I mean, obviously it sucks for people playing, but I think that there's like screenshots of like 6 or 7 of them in one game.
11, bro.
So
6 on one
11,
team,
yeah.
5 on the other, dude. It was ridiculous.
So I mean that sucks, but that's on Wargaming to knock
They-
that out, man. They need to be on bot patrol.
Now the rumors is that those bots that were caught being bots in those Coney burgers were banned, and the affiliation with whatever link that they took was taken away. But that's just the rumor, and I can't confirm or deny any of that shit. So
Yeah.
overall, it's cheating, and fuck you for guys for cheating. That's what I say.
There you
Fuck
go.
you for cheating, man. Clan battles tier 8. Thoughts on clan battles tier 8? I know I love tier 8. I'd love tier 8 rank seasons. How do you think it's going to be? This is first non-tier 10 rank clan battles.
God, I mean, I think this is this is a good and bad thing, which we'll probably get to in a second. But I think this is probably a breath of fresh air for a long time for a lot of people playing. I mean, how many months, years has so much content just been focused around tier 10,
Right.
everything focused around tier 10. So it's a great breath of fresh air to have a tier other than tier 10 and playing. I think like half the maps are still the tier 10 maps, but like
That's
just something different to do than just spamming the same ships, the same comps, the same strats, the same maps. I mean, how many times can we play, how many times can we play the same freaking maps over and over and over? So I'm excited to see some variety when it comes to that kind of stuff.
I'm excited to see it. Still not going to play it, but that's just me. You got Neighbors, Hotspot, Trident, Sea of Fortune, Grease, and Mountain Range. Neighbors, I'm not a big fan of Neighbors or Mountain Range, but the other ones are fine. Hotspot, Sea of Fortune, Grease. It's a new map coming in. It'll be all right.
Yeah, I think
be all right.
it'll be fine. I'm excited. I haven't really played it in the past. I just haven't been super motivated to play clan battles in the past. Since this one's a little bit different, 6v6, it's less serious. They've kind of changed up how matchmaking works, so it's easier to get into the
Cross-server
Typhoon
matchmaking, yeah.
Yeah, it's easier to get into that. There's more teams to kind of, I guess, feed off of, if you want to call it that.
You can get up there faster, I think.
Yeah, they changed up how the matchmaking. So you get more. I believe this is how it works. You get more points getting up into Typhoon, and then once you're in Typhoon, it's harder to progress through Typhoon. But getting into Typhoon, that's where you start getting those wins. Whether you're going, but either if you're at 50% or whatever, you're trading up one down one. So once you get into Typhoon, that's where you start getting those big points, which has that trickle down effect for all those wins. So you can pull somebody in for just a week, and then they get their max amount of coal or max amount of steel. So
yeah, that's not bad at
nice.
all. And I know I don't usually partake of it for my own personal reasons. I don't usually do clan battles, but just for the coal, just to secure myself for the summers or the steel, excuse me. Just to secure myself for the summers, I'll probably partake of a little bit. What do you think of the overlap this time around? They haven't done this overlap before, but I think there's a week overlap between clan battles and rank season. Now it's toward the end of clan battles. So a lot of people are already going to have everything that they need from the clan battle season, and it's going to cause a minor issue with some of the, maybe not as skilled clans. Well, I've got to win these things to get my steel, but I have to do this too. What do you think of the overlap?
Well, either it's I don't see. I made a video kind of talking about
Right.
this. So one of my staying up to date videos, and it was kind of one sided. For the thoughts. I mean, I don't see the upside of it other than purely having just things to do. I think this is a cool thing. I think this is only a positive for people who don't play clan battles.
Right.
Because if you don't play clan battles, you don't care. It just means ranked battles are starting again, so you can get more steel.
Hmm.
For people who are playing both modes, it's the word burnout is just getting thrown around all over the place. You got 4 days of for some clans, 3-4 days of clan battles. You have to get some progress through rank because that's time limited too. Especially if you are any kind of, I guess, competitive top 50 clan on a server, you're going to want to kind of keep playing so you can keep getting those points and keep rotating people and get their steel. I don't really see the upside of it. I don't really see the point of it. I feel like it's too much. Like, they have a good thing. They have a ranked battle season. They have a clan battle season. My real question is, what's going to follow this patch? Are we going to go
That's a real
right
good
into
question.
another rank season? Are we going to go a double drought of double the time without ranked battles or clan battles?
Probably another
I mean,
sprint, maybe. I mean, throw another sprint in
yeah,
there.
you
Another
know,
event. I have no idea. There's
yeah. I feel like they have like these things that are good, and then they're like, well, people like these. People like getting rewards. Let's just drop them all at one time. We just went through a super spammy event that kind of burnt people out from that.
I
Now
know.
that people have to do clan battles and rank battles at the same time.
Let me scroll back here. Let me scroll back. Let me flip back in my page. You want to talk
Yeah.
about spammy event, right? So the first 2 days of this Rogue Wave event, the first day we played 64 games. The first day, just one right after another, and that's over 10-hour period of gameplay. The second day, when the actual credit grind was out there, we turned in 40 games, 50 games the second day over 8 hours,
Yep.
and got all the credits that I needed. And I got to the point where I don't care if I ever play it again.
Yeah.
Rumble. I just got to go on record and say Rumble was the best, most maneuverable ship out there, and that was the one that I really enjoyed. And not a lot of people did like the Rumble because of the short torps. But I did like this event. I thought the event was great because it was you versus that enemy, and there was very little RNG involved with it. So this is probably the most pure skill-based game mode that they've ever had. What do you think?
Yeah, I think it was fun for sure. I just felt like it lost its fun when you had to play it over. Um, I think that was like the main downside of it is they kind of they made a fun mode pretty much a burden,
Right.
and that's what kills fun modes like that is when it
Yeah.
becomes a chore instead of just something that you enjoy.
Something that you enjoy. So speaking of something that you enjoy, the upcoming or the aforementioned rank season coming up is Tier 9. The last time we did a Tier 9 rank season, it was Arms Race. And I thought that was a very fun season, very different season. I enjoyed that one. I don't remember me getting as salty as I usually do during the regular grind seasons. Do you think that Arms Race is in a place to where they can bring it in the regular rotation to kind of break some of the monotony out?
I mean, that's kind of going back to what follows after this rank season. Are we going to
Right.
get arms race ranked battles in the rotation?
Yeah.
That could kind of break up the monotony of doing that. I think Tier 9 is a pretty good season. I still think it's a pretty premium with battleships. I think it's pretty imbalanced towards the premium ships. But I do I think it's something that could be like permanent? Probably no. I don't really like the idea of mini permanents, but in rotation, I don't see why not. It's just
Well, I mean, we have standard battle, which is arguably the most boring game mode out there. It's my opinion. And then we have domination. Do you think that they could put arms race into that rotation for randoms, or do you think
I don't really think so
is it too
because
big?
it can spiral. It requires, I think, too much teamwork, and um, we all know how that works. I mean, going to buffs. I mean, imagine a team with a division that really knows what they're doing against a team that doesn't know what they're doing, but they can at least sail in a direction that's kind of near a cap. And you get a destroyer that wants to YOLO into a radar cruiser, but he accidentally caps just because he has to go through there. With arms race, I mean, if you have one division that knows what they're doing and they just get all the heals, does your team ever lose? So I feel like it's
I'm sure
probably
when those three people in that division die, they'll figure out some way to throw it.
yeah, right.
They'll figure out some way to throw it.
I don't I think it's a good mode for like a ranked mode. I really enjoyed it. I thought that was a fun season.
Fair enough.
And I would like to see them throw that into make it its own ranked battles. Have the normal ranked battles and have arms race and rotate those, and I'm cool with that.
I'm down with that. Speaking of that, what do you think of the only epicenter sprint that we had this time around?
See, I don't really mind. I actually kind of like the independent ring epicenter. I know a lot of people kind of hate it, but I think a lot of people hate it for like what the old epicenter was. I like the independent rings because it added another level of skill.
Yes.
That okay, hey, we need to stop this, and positioning means something. And if you could outplay other people as well by just okay, they're going into the center, and there's a guy sitting on the outside. I can go into the middle one, and then you can kind of out. I liked it. I actually did, and it promoted pushing too.
I always say people generally don't like this one because it gets them out of their comfort zone. They're so used to just sitting and spamming whatever shots that they're going to spam over A cap, over D cap, or just sitting and spamming in standard battle. I think a lot of people don't like it because, again, as we said earlier in the podcast, is that it's all about that change. People don't like to have to change and do anything, and I think a lot of people
don't like to move.
Well, that's
people
true.
don't like to. People don't like to take damage. They were forced to kind of get close and take damage in this game mode. So it got people out of their comfort zone, which is staying far away from the battle and not really doing.
Right. Now here's a possibility. Here's just a possibility of something that's been going around again. And I know after we had that submarine Halloween event, people are really harping on subs again. At least in my channel. I don't know if people are bringing it up in your channel. Where's that channel? Twitch.tv/Mejash. You guys can hit him up over at Mejash TV. Go check out his fucking channels, man. It's good stuff going on over there. So a lot of people have been talking about it more and more recently, and I'm just like, if they're going to have to do something completely different with the subs, because I just don't see the subs in that state of that event being ready for actual combat, because they're just going to be ridiculous. Either are they going to be ridiculously good? I don't know. Are they going to be ridiculously bad? That's where I'm leaning to. But then there's on the other hand, you have all of the artwork and all of the models ready for depth charges and adding that in there. And I know everybody with the Friesland coming out, they're like, oh, they got those rocket powered depth charges. Look at their tubes right there, man. And I'm like, they just really don't entice me at all, and I'm not excited about them at all. What do you think?
I think subs will be easier to balance than CVs.
This is true.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll see what they end up doing. I don't see how exactly what we saw in the event, which is really all we can go by. I don't see how they have what we saw there could ever be in like the random battles. Like imagine, because I think one of them had a surface detection lower than like the Shimakaze torps at the 20 km torp. So like imagine the rage that you would get and the kind of unbalanced ability to get something that pops up at 2 kilometers or 3 kilometers and then just spams you with torps and then disappears. So they have an uphill battle by making this class, but I feel like just like the CVs, they've had to invest so much time and money into this that we'll probably see them at some point. I mean, I think it would seem like they would be throwing away a lot of money for them not to. Am I excited for it? We'll see what they have. I don't, probably what we see is probably going to be nowhere near what we kind of saw.
Right.
But we haven't seen the entire thing, which is what you talked about. And that's one of the things somebody brought up in my stream was, like the new DDs and new stuff, like, oh, those have depth charges. You think that's a sign for it? Lots of ships are already
Yeah,
in the game with depth charge rails and stuff like that. So
yeah.
we'll see. We'll see how it develops.
We'll see. I think that if they stay the way that they are, they should do it in Halloween events only, or some kind of event style. Keep it in operations. Keep it in event modes. I think that is a good place for them currently. Just going off, just this obviously this is just going off of what I can remember playing during the
Hmm.
Halloween event they did. Overall, that Halloween event was pretty good. It was pretty fun. They usually do events very well here in this, in World of Warships and in all of wargaming. They generally do pretty damn good events. Um, I just say at this point in time, they just really have no bearing on the game whatsoever, and they have no business being in there with what they have previously shown us.
I feel like just what we've seen so far is just going to be really hard to balance. So that's why I feel like what we've kind of seen, probably what we've seen so far, probably isn't going to be something we see any near finalized. We'll probably see them in some kind of, probably when they're closer to development, we'll probably see a new submarine event or something like that where it's going to be PvE, and then we'll probably get a new feel of where they are and balanceable and stuff like that. But
Hmm.
I mean, there's added in a new class. We haven't seen the counter class, which is
Right.
something that they still probably have to figure out what they're going to do there. We
Well,
saw
a lot of the
things drop depth charges, but we
right
didn't get the players dropping said depth charge.
player controlled depth charges. Well, it'll be something interesting for the future as we move ahead.
Hmm.
Guys, if you have any questions for myself or for me, Jesse, I'll answer VitaMIK there in the chat. I'll copy pasta over them to my quote unquote spreadsheet, and then
Ew.
we will chit chat about those coming up a little bit later on. So my the next thing that we have, if everybody knows, the new French missions are out, or they're not out yet, but the new French event is happening right now. To where, if you guys remember the Snowflake event, where you could earn steel by winning games. Now you have the opportunity from every boat at tier 7 and above has these revolution tokens, or the not revolution tokens, well, whatever, the republic tokens, I think is what they're called. And you go in and you win a game on that, and then you get these tokens, and you can get 5, 6, 7, 8, and even 9 of the new French destroyer. The new French destroyer line that's coming out. Anything below that, 5 and below, I think is coal, and I think the premiums at like tier 2 and 3 and 4, something like that, have coal on them as well. This is a good opportunity for people to go out there and get coal if you guys are looking for the Yoshino or the John Bart or anything like that. If you guys are short on coal, stuff like that. Well, easiest way to do that, the co-opening. That's right, ladies
Hell
and
yeah.
gentlemen, the co-opening. I know me and a couple of the guys earlier today, I started at tier 7, and I played through every Japanese boat that I had, and I got through all of the Americans, and I still have 25 more ships at tier 7 left to go.
Yep.
There's so many things left to do, and it's just like, oh crap, I don't even have the Mayhem. Well, let's buy that son of a bitch too.
See,
Let's
that's
go
the
to
thing
co-op.
on my alt account is I have to go back and rebuy all those, so
Hmm.
I'm gonna go super broke
Yeah,
redoing that. But on the main account, I'll probably do next couple of streams, probably do like start out the stream with like 10 or 15 co-op games and just slowly get through it.
yeah,
Because I mean, why not? It's easy to do. You can knock them out really fast.
yeah. I mean, they gave They gave us an option to earn it for basically nothing. So we might as well do it. Which
Yep.
which leads into these events like this. I mean, the Snowflake event was huge, and I still think the Snowflake event was a mistake for all the steel. They just kind of devalued the steel, devalued the way to get the steel for these people that don't play clan battles or don't play ranked. I'm sorry about your luck, bro. You're gonna have to do something. You're gonna have to put out some kind of effort to get this steel. I still don't think that the steel campaign that they sold in the Snowflake event was a good idea. What do you think?
I think they even said it was kind of like, so the Snowflake event overall just does like it kind of it's a band-aid for a big problem that they have. Does it devalue it? It makes way too many people too happy, and I think they even said it was a mistake of like allowing people to spam co-op just like the same way.
Right.
I think they've even said that they're going to probably not let that happen in the future. But I mean, it makes way too many people happy. It takes down kind of the steel wall that there is because now people can't bitch and go, well, just wait for the snowflakes
Right.
and get it that way. So it's kind of just like a win-win for them, an easy way out for what is overall like a bigger problem that they probably want to fix.
Right. I know with this event, I guess we'll move on into, instead of complaining about it, the positives for this thing. You are going to be able to get these new ships. You're going to be able to get them. You're going to be able to get them early. I mean, the next, the tier 5 through 9, which that's the highest that they've given away so far. Through an event like this as the Mogator at tier 9, which I think that one's nasty. That thing is dirty good, man. I think out of all the ones that we tested, I like that one the most, and the Kleber obviously, but we didn't get the Kleber this time around for testing. So the tier 9, phenomenal boat, but then again, I still don't understand why they're giving away literally 90% of their content for this. I assume it has something to do with Naval Training Center. You can go back and reset it and do it all over again. But instead of giving away 8 and 9, dude, start it at 2. Give away 2, 3, 4, and 5, and then then you might get a chance to get the tier 6 one, and then that would at least give people more incentive to go through and play the line. Since I got the French battleships, I shared it at the Normandy at tier 6. I've never played a 3, 4, or 5. Never once have I gone back and played 3, 4, or 5 because there was no reason to. I was already past it. But with the Naval Training Center coming out, I'm able to reset that, and I can go back and play some of those boats that I never really got a chance or never really had a desire to go play because I didn't have to. What do you think of them giving away this and how it all interacts with the community?
Like I get why they do it. It's a very easy answer.
Explain why you think that they do it.
It's a super easy way to make a whole bunch of money. Let people surprise mechanic their way to potentially getting past a whole bunch. It's a way to let people spend money to skip through content. It is what it is. Do I think it's business strategy? I mean, sure, whatever. They're a company. They need to keep the lights on. Whatever.
I'm not going to knock them for that.
Yeah. Do I need to? Do I think it's a good thing though? No, because it gets. This game has a very rough time it's easier. It's easier and easier and easier. Just even grinding the lines normally, to get to tier 10.
Yeah.
Just grinding the lines is easier. So now you're letting people skip through half the line, and then continue to grind up. I mean, the learning curve of this game is almost non-existent these days.
I think when they do something like that, this ties into my biggest problem with the rental boats in rank season this last time around. You dilute the player base, extremely diluted. I mean, like even it's more apparent in the rank season with rentals, and I know there was a lot of people out there that just, I'm going to take a rental Conqueror because I'm a number one. I'm a dirty conch player. Yes, that's me. Number two is I had a lot of games where people were like, I was telling these guys, why are you over here in Azal? You are like literally 3 kilometers off of this camp, and there's 3 battleships bearing down on us here. Why are you here? Well, I'm just trying to ship out. Well, do that somewhere else. That's not a place for you to try a boat out and, test a boat to see if you want to continue the line. That's not a place for it. But then there's other people that like, hey, I'm just going to take this because I think it's a fun meme and, they're decent players. And I think this is the same thing. Tier 8, 9, and 10 for my camera just crashed or whatever.
RIP camera.
No, we're fine. It's been doing that for the last couple of weeks. Just shuts off and then comes back on for no reason. It's time for a new camera.
Hey, there you
go. So basically what you're getting is 8, 9, and 10 are atrocious teams. and just everybody starting at A cap, but instead of going to fight for what's in front of them, they turn and go up to C. For no reason, and then like the team at C turns and goes to A for no fucking reason, and so you have this big mishmash in the middle, and it's just they all get ate up by torpedoes. It's just a horrible experience in the higher tiers for randoms, a lot more than it used to be, it's very frustrating, and this is another cause of that of that result. With them giving away all of this really high tier content. I don't know.
Well, I mean, I actually was thinking about this today, and like, it's kind of a good diluted, sure, but I mean, if you ask any person that's played kind of over the last 6 months here, saying, "Hey, like what do you think is a problem with the game?" And I think a lot of people would bring up just how like super like landslide victories there are.
There's a lot of those.
Super one-sided games over and over, whether it's your team or the other team. Like, it's
Right.
just like teams are just losing 5, 6 ships instantly at the start of the game. And a good way of kind of like two really good examples of it is like rank battles. I mean, you get to like, especially like the tier 5 and under, or rank 5 and under, sorry. That's the player base that is, I would say, above average. There's going to be some people in there that people think are pretty bad, but if you look at just the people queuing in that throughout the entire season, that's going to be a player base that would be considered above average to good to great, somewhere in there. Um, and you see just like 1 or 2 players that are below that line, you can feel it, and it's a landslide victory.
Right.
A better way to even look at it that way is, and a really good example of random battles these days, especially high tier random battles, is look at rank sprint.
Okay.
Now, rank sprint was pretty much a mode open for everybody. Nearly everyone can play it.
Tier 7.
And tier
It
5,
didn't
whenever
matter,
it was
I
tier
guess.
5,
Yeah.
tier 6,
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
like, how many games were just, if one side had a good division and the other side had a bad division, it was over from the start.
Yeah.
So you're going to get more and more and more of that because you have just more players. And I always make the example of a bad Yamato player is so much harder to carry than a bad Congo player.
Yes. Because
If your Congo player is bad, or okay, you make up for it.
right.
Yamato that gets dev struck by spotted torps, or a DD, a Gearing that gets killed instantly because he goes right into a radar to try to yellow torp it, is so much more than a Farragut at tier 6. You can make up for those. So I think that's a big problem with this game, and that's part of them giving away more and more. Because I wouldn't say you dilute it, but you're just gonna forever. That's gonna be a problem we're gonna have forever until random battles is kind of replaced by other ranked style game modes.
Right. I I think that you can trace this back when they started giving away boats. At how I remember this was, when did they start giving away boats? Something British battleships. I think they started.
Yeah, I
giving
think
away,
British
right?
Battleship, but that was like the 3, 4, 5.
Yeah, right. Which
Even
was
for
which
that.
was. I guess that was okay. I didn't have a problem with
Yeah, I
that.
think that's fine.
I think giving away that low of a tier, then you take that learning curve and you started at tier 6 or you started at tier 5, whatever the end it was. Now you're taking that learning curve and you're shooting it straight up to 8, 9, and 10, and that is a hard smack in the face lesson for some of these guys that are like, hey, I want to play this, and I think overall the people that actually care about getting better, they're going to adapt and they're going to adjust and they're going to figure out ways to learn to be better. But I think in the short term, it's going to turn off a lot of people. Uh, when they get up there, they go broadside. They get death struck by that Yamato, or they get death struck by anything, and they're like, "Oh, this game fucking sucks." Blah blah blah. This boat sucks. Blah blah blah. And I'm like, well, man, at that point in time, is it okay to say, well, you need to learn how to play it? You know, you need to learn how to play the game, as opposed to you need to learn how to play that particular boat. In the end, it's going to be on that player to give a shit. And if the player doesn't give a shit, then he'll never get better.
Yeah, I think that's one of the biggest things. That's something I could when these players that die super early. Um, I imagine the majority of them just hit exit battle and go on to the next one. Like, oh, that happened, on to the next one, right?
Right.
Because there isn't really kind of like the learning process. You have a bad game in high tiers and you lose some credits, but it's not too bad. And you have a decent game in high tier and you make some credits. It's all about. There isn't really that big like, oh shit, like I can't play that ship again because I can't afford it. Like, what did I do wrong? There's no real like, all right, let's think about what we did. As
The
I always
economy the
reference
way
the
it
old,
used to
yeah,
be.
the
Yeah.
old economy, yeah. So I think I think the game will see a much more. I mean, people give like, oh man, people are quitting left and right, blah blah blah. World of Warship's a super super solid player
Oh yeah.
base. Numbers are always consistent. But I bet you now, if you look at it, the numbers would still be very consistent. But I bet you the numbers would be a lot more spiky than they were, let's say, like a year ago or a year or 2 years ago,
Um,
because
I remember watching that. Who was it? It was No Zoop put out a numbers video that one
Mhm.
time, considering about the way when the CVs came out. Oh, it's gonna kill the game. It's gonna kill the game. Everybody and their dog was into the worlding this CV. Uh, uh, with I know you weren't. I know I wasn't. And a couple other of us weren't. But there was a lot of even community contributors out there that were into the worlding this game because of the CV rework. And the basic premise of that video from Zoop was the game is fine, and the game is going right steady on where it has been for the last 2 years. But I would like to see the numbers of players over the course of the last 2 years, with a big specific from January to now, to see the up and down and the spike at prime time. And I know here at about 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, there's still 4,000 players on. When I'm
Mhm.
playing, when I'm doing the late shows, there's still 4,000 players on, which is huge, because I remember 6, 7 months ago when I was doing those late streams, there was maybe 2,000. So I think either there's more people playing, there's more people coming over from EU server, or there's more people coming from around the world to play the NA server, or there's just more people staying on longer. I don't know what it is, but there's quite a lot more people. Plus, there was that big influx from Steam, or a moderate influx from Steam. We saw a lot of that, and a lot of dilution of the player base from that as well. And I just think the skill level is not at a place where it was 6 months ago, or even a year ago.
Yeah, I mean, I think that is part of. I guess like the thing I was more doing is I think the player numbers will get more spiky because it's just gonna have higher turnover instead of just I need to consistently play this game to get to tier 10. People are gonna get things much quicker. There's a much faster. You hop on and do your dailies. I mean, I wonder how many people just hop on and get their containers and hop off.
Hmm.
Hop on, play their couple games, do their daily wins, and hop off compared to putting more hours and more games into it. So I'd be interested to see like the average games per player now or like average week. I mean, there's more stuff to do now, um, but yeah, I mean obviously the skill level is going down, but that's because Wargame is trying to push more people to tier 10. Obviously, I mean
Right.
they've talked about that. They want players to get out of low tiers, and get into the higher tier, and it makes sense business wise for them. But yeah, I mean it's definitely. Do I think it's good for the game? No, I mean it's a business move, but I
All
mean it
right.
is
So
it
that
is what
that
it is.
that raises the next question: at what point in time do they have to stop? Obviously, they don't have to stop ever, because it is a business, and they're in the business to be, to make money, and I
Hmm.
totally understand that. But at what point in time do they sit there and they stand back and say, "Hey, we need to look about the health of the game. I don't care if we're rolling over 10,000 people new every month. How many people aren't playing anymore? How many people are just rolling in and coming in, and they're not dropping money. They're not making the payments. They're not buying the premium times, and they're just in, and then they're gone because they really have nothing to do, or they come in, they play for 3 months, and then they leave.
Like I mean, that's pretty simple, right? They're gonna have some kind of graph that's saying, "Hey, we're making X amount of money per month or X amount of money," and then when that gets to a number that is not green or not a thumbs up or smiley sun and goes to a frowny cloud face, that's probably when they have to do something, and that's when that's when they'll do just some kind of event. I mean, I don't see them changing this kind of pattern in any foreseeable future. I just hope that whatever money they're making, that they're investing in more game modes. That's what I would love to see. So
I'd like to see
I
more
just try
game
to stay
modes as well.
optimistic.
Oh, absolutely. Um, you've been playing this game for how long now, Jace?
Uh, Over 4 years now. I don't
Over
know,
four
four and a
years.
half, something like that.
I know I just passed in June. I passed my 3 year mark. I got that little emblem for 3 years.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, hell yeah, man. Uh, do you take it now? I kind of take some of the things that they've done is kind of like wow, fuck you type of moments. Bringing out the steel, like immediately the 2 weeks after I earned my black, they brought it in the steel mechanic, and I was so pissed off at it. It was like, dude, I just busted my ass for 5 fucking seasons to earn this boat, and now you're giving it away. It's kind of a smack in the face. Do you feel? Do you feel like any of this is a smack in the face because you grinded your ass, you busted your ass on several accounts to get up to tier 10, and now when you sit there and you're like, I remember sitting in my port for the first couple of months just looking at the boats at tier 10. Okay, well this one looks pretty dope. That one looks badass. Look at that Zao. The Zao looks fucking sexy, you know. And that was my goal, was to get to tier 10. And I learned the game and I played the game and I got better and I made my mistakes and I still make my mistakes and I still try to get better and strive for that every day. But now some guy brand new could come out there, do this event, get his fucking tier 9, and then he has no appreciation for it at all because it was just basically handed to him. Do you feel that wargaming is kind of alienating some of the, I don't know what you want to call them, one percenters or whatever, but the people that have been around for years?
Um, Not really. Me personally,
Right.
I don't really care. Whatever. I have so much fucking time each week to fill up with ships.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm,
You
I'm,
know,
I'm in the same boat.
yeah, like me, I guess like the part that like I guess would kind of bum me out is like when you got the old school way, like when you used to get like a new ship or you got the Yamato finally,
Right.
or you finally ground through something, and this like that, like I don't know, like that probably doesn't, you probably don't feel like it, like you worked super hard to do it. And all right, hey, I want to play some tier 10s today, let's play a ton of tier 5 or tier 7 premium ships so we can afford it.
Right.
And now it's just people can just kind of spam high tiers. So do I feel like I've been slapped in the face by wargaming? No, whatever, it's their game, I'm just playing it, I still enjoy it. If I didn't
Yeah.
enjoy it, I wouldn't play it anymore. I'm just little old. I try to stay positive, Josh, over here.
Right.
Uh,
I try
that's just
to.
me.
You got the positive, Josh. I got the real.
Yeah.
I try to stay real average over here, man. Just trying to be real, and I wear my heart on my sleeve about this game a lot, and I tendency to lose my shirt, as the Bare Naked Ladies has to say, lose my mind about some things, and I just think that I was like, man, I really felt proud and accomplished, to earn all of these tier 10 boats, and then these people, these little shits, come in trying to tell us how to fucking play. All right, he fucking died first, and he turned into Admiral fucking Nimitz over there, and he's
Yeah.
telling everybody what to do. And I'm like, dude, you've played
Got no
400
sport.
games. Let's go counterclockwise because that's the way to go. Shut the fuck up. Go play the goddamn game. And I don't know. It just hurts, man. I mean, it feels like everything that I feel, everything that I felt about earning that Yamato for the first time, and actually grinding through the Izumo back before any of the buffs happened, and enjoying that grind, and then to get to the Yamato to see somebody that has 1,000 games or 400 games and 42% win rate at a tier 10, and it kind of hurts a little bit, making light of my accomplishment by these other guys getting to tier 8, tier 9, just like that.
I would say like the only thing that like kind of I wouldn't say still like a slap in the face or anything. I just think the only thing that really like bums me out is just when you have what seems like just an entire team that just does not care. And I feel like that is so much more prevalent now, and that kind of goes back to like more and more people just getting the high tiers. Like I feel like this the amount of people that just do not care happens way more in higher tiers now, and it sucks because you watch these games that are so winnable, and you just slowly you can
You
look
can
over and
feel it.
go like that guy's gonna die to this. He
Yep.
doesn't need to. He could seriously just not do that, and we win the game. And they go in, and we one game we had, and I was doing like a John Madden of we're in the lead, we have all the caps, we're gonna lose this game,
Hmm.
and I called out how everybody was gonna die.
Yeah.
Our Montana had 60k life, their North Carolina had 14k life, and their North Carolina came out with I think more life than what he went into the fight with.
Yeah.
It's just you can just watch that, and I feel like that's the thing that bums me out the most is all these just winnable games that people just do not give a fuck about
Yeah.
and just go in and have fun. Oh, well, whatever, we lost that one. Oh well, on to the next one.
Well, like I said, I
And
guess that's an old school mentality for us. We want to play to
yeah, for
win.
sure.
Obviously, you want to have fun. To me, winning is fun, guys. So I tend to try to play more toward winning, unless there's $5 on the line and we're going up the middle on two brothers. That's another story. That one is just for pure fun. I do enjoy doing that, but that's besides the point. Um, I think that stuff like this, the co-oping and giving away all, it's just another symptom of the bigger problem. But what do you think that there's a bigger problem than this in the game currently? Man,
Well, I mean, it's kind of like the topic we just went over. Yeah, I
yeah,
feel like there's no learning curve, there's no punishment for playing
right.
bad anymore, and I think it's just too easy to get into high tiers. I think that there's no learning curve anymore, and there's no punishment for playing bad. I think that's the biggest problem in this game. Um,
I tend to agree with it. Do you think all right? So we've talked about all the things that we think. How do you think they go about fixing some of these things? Learning curve, taking back the economy a little bit. Forcing these people to pay the 8,000 doubloons to get so they can just barely make money again back at tier 10. And maybe that's not the right answer, but what do you think is a way that wargaming can turn around to try to solve some of these problems that they've created?
make more game modes that have some kind of ranked style play that is alongside random battles. I don't think you can fix random battles. I mean, if that's the
Well, it's
question.
random battles. It's
Yeah.
random. Well, it's random battles, and random battles are that. That's like taking five of your bros into like League of Legends or something, and then you have that duo queue that you can go in or solo queue that you can go into. I think that. Do you think that there should be a seasonal? I know we've talked about this before, and I've heard you talk about this before. Do you think that a seasonal, maybe a 2-month season, something like that, to where you got the points? Okay, well, we've won, we've got more points, and then you move up, and then there's some rewards specifically for that nobody else can get. Unless you
Um,
partake of it.
like I would. I mean, we definitely. But yeah, just like a very quick. I don't think you can ever fix random battles. Random battles is the beast that it is now. As somebody just said in chat, random battles is for the casual, and it is. It is
And
for
that's
the
fine,
casual.
and that's
Yeah.
fine. But I mean, uh, so take the random out of the equation. We all know what our thoughts and feelings are about the game, the lack of skill from the players, the lack of skill wall that there's if you're not there's no gut check anymore. Usually when you get to tier 7 or tier 8 you would have, okay, well, how am I playing now? Where do they go other than so let's take that answer and let's roll it into your ranked battle system. Fix it.
hmm I think there's a lot of things they can do. There's as we talked about arms race. Are they? And that's one of the things too. When we talked a little earlier about what's going to follow this ranked battle, clan battle overlap. Like what follows that? Are we going right into another ranked battle? I think this is something like ranked sprint is a really good example of, but I would love to see not a permanent, but just like a very quick. I don't think you can ever fix random battles. Random battles is the beast that it is now. As somebody just said in chat, random battles is for the casual, and it is. I think that there's a lot of things they can do. but I guess a very often, instead of random battles being supplemented with other stuff, I would rather the other game modes be supplemented with random battles.
Take the
The
emphasis off of randoms then.
yeah, exactly. Like if people just want to go out and have fun and do that thing, they can do that in random battles. But if I
Right.
want to go out there and win, I can at least play with like-minded players that are trying to win in advance,
Right.
and that doesn't really affect. Now the one of the main things is um that always comes up is like an MMR system or like a matchmaking rater system. And
Yeah.
so that's something that has been talked about for a long time. That's something that gets talked about more and more. Is wargaming makes up some kind of stat. Obviously, there aren't stats in this game. There isn't like one true stat that can
Right.
decide how WTR, PR, whatever the fuck
PR,
you want to
whatever.
call it. Um, they could make something that puts you into something, and you play that. But like, some people would. I feel like the only way they could do something like that would be in brackets that are very, very, very wide. You would seriously have to have, because the player base just isn't that big to support a queue like that.
Right.
Because when you think of an alternate gameplay or alternate game mode, the game mode can't be too big because it can't kill off something else. They could easily go like 9v9 random battles, make random battles smaller, and then have a kind of like Hearthstone where you queue in towards ranked or you queue in towards casual. If you want to play casual, you play casual. If you want to play ranked, you play ranked. And the better you do, the better you go. So you could have some kind of rating of all the metrics kind of put into a formula, and you do better and better over time, and you go into a bracket. But I mean, the brackets would just have to be so wide to keep a healthy queue. I mean, just going off just the metric of win rate, like you'd have to do like 45% and lower, like 46 to 54, and then like 55 and up or something like that. Like you'd have to do brackets like that crazy wide to keep it healthy. Um, because you would just have to have these games still be able to fill up and not take too long. But I wish there was just more modes that if people wanted to go out and have fun, by all means go have fun. But if I'm focusing on winning, I wish I could play with other people that are at least like-minded. Ranked battles has that. Clan battles has that.
Right.
A rank sprint even to a point has that, but obviously rank sprint is way less serious.
Rank sprint
So
is geared more
that's what
toward
I
the
would want.
casual ranked. Basically, is what that
Yeah,
is. It's kind of like a happy medium in between the
yeah.
hardcore ranked season versus
You know,
random.
like my problem with random battles is I feel like I just can't go out, and this is a pressure I put on myself, is I feel like I want to go out and win, and no matter what I'm playing, but I feel like I can't just go out and just play for fun and not worry about it. I feel like I still have to go out with like a pristine matchmaking. I know, not have or pristine like division, like not having something that is um like not having a DD in every division, and having a good matchup in every division. Like that's something I feel like I still need to do, because you have to just still carry all the time. It just gets a little old after a while.
That's something that very early on uh, that's something very early on that I had to get my head out of that is that, and I still do it to this day, but the perfect division, I've gotten away from that. I don't care, play whatever you want to, and we'll do what we can, because that keeps it fresh, and it kind of keeps it a little bit fresh. We played three Massachusetts, and we all went up the middle on two brothers. That's something that that doesn't happen all the time. But going on north and playing three Massachusetts. Okay, now let's figure out how we can win this game here. It just gives me a more mental challenge, over and over again. I really enjoy just mixing it up a little bit, just to kind of keep it a little bit fresh. But I definitely understand that I do put a lot of pressure on myself as well. I have to win this game. I personally have to do everything within my power to win this game. And if I don't do it, then I feel like I take a lot of the loss on myself, even though I still did 130K and I killed 5 people, but we couldn't win the game because I couldn't get that next kill.
Yeah.
I still to this day do that a lot.
Yep. Agreed.
But that's just a symptom of somebody who cares. you care, I
Yeah.
care, you know. I mean,
Yep.
and
Yeah.
a lot of these other guys just flat don't care. Guys, we're hanging out with my man Mejash. You guys can hit him up on twitch.tv/Mejash or at Mejash TV. Dude, over on the Twitter, so you guys can send him messages and maybe some lewds. I don't know. Probably, yeah. There you go. See, that face didn't say no. He didn't say no, people. Guys, we're gonna continue on. If you guys have any more questions, or if you guys have any questions at all for myself or me, Jason, about anything that we've talked about today, or any comments or anything, to go ahead and leave them in the chat at SirVenomIK, and we will get to those here in just a little bit. All right, so there you go. We've talked about all the news. We talked about the co-oping. Give me just the last little bit, just an overall opinion on this. This particular event here, and then we'll move on into the next section about the tokens and things. And what do you think of it overall? Do you think it's good for the game? Do you think it's fine? You don't care? What?
I mean, yeah, it's fine. I mean, it's just kind of goofy that the co-opting. It's just like everyone's just gonna spam it. It's easy. People are gonna play through it, but everyone and their mother is gonna be playing. Like everyone's just gonna be playing co-op to get through all that kind of stuff. So it's kind of a cheesy way to get it, but it is the system, and there's only so many people that go through and are gonna do it. But hey, man, the co-op queues are going to be fast and heavy and spicy for this entire update. So go out there and get them. Might as well.
You might as well get them as quickly as possible, because they're not terrible. They're not a terrible line of boats either. So we might as well do it. So, all right. So there you go, boys. My overall opinion is whatever. Who cares? Go get these boats. I mean, I don't like the fact that they're putting out that much content for nothing. You barely have to work for any of these things, and you really don't learn about the boats by playing a Baltimore. How are you going to learn how to play this French cruiser? Why should you earn it from playing this other thing that has nothing to do with it? But that's just me. That's my opinion, and you guys all know about what opinions are. So let's move on into Ship Spotlight. Now, I asked me, Jash, last time we were on here, and he talked about some boat. I don't even remember because it's been so long ago. But take a chance. Take a couple of seconds here. Think about a boat that you would like to spotlight, that people maybe people don't play it enough, or maybe they don't hear about it enough, and just really bring it out into the spotlight. Reasons why you like it, reasons why you don't like it, whatever.
I guess a good one would be like something like the Abruzzi these days, because with that upcoming line. I mean, I wish I could just talk about the Hill. I mean, that thing's amazing. Maybe I'll just kind of talk both, but it's so good. But yeah, the Abruzzi is a pretty solid pickup right now, because going into the Italian line, at tier 7, if that thing comes on sale, it's really not that bad of a cruiser, and that entire line, you're going to basically need to start a brand new captain. So that will be a pretty decent little pickup. It's a pretty solid cruiser at tier 7 in a pretty good tier, and I think it's one that little to no people actually have. I think that's probably on one of the least played ships. That's a premium out there.
Burzy boasts some pretty fast shooting guns. I say fast shooting guns. The guns don't shoot very fast, but the shells come out at like 1,000 meters per second.
Yeah,
some of the fastest in the game. The only problem I have with these things is they're really light, and they don't hit very hard. Yeah. They do a lot of damage to destroyers, but that's about it. Broadside AP shots, you're getting maybe 4,000 damage on a Citadel. I think I'm not quite sure, 100% positive, but I know it's less than the Molotov that gets 4,400 on the 180s there. But they're decent boat. Quasi long range. I mean, it does have kind of a short range at 15, but it kind of fits in there right where the Miyoko is at 15.6, somewhere in that range. But you do get a spooter plane, which you throw it up there and then launch some things out. It's not terrible. AA on it's kind of questionable, and slow pedos.
Yep, yeah, those long range ones. Yeah, I would say with the announcement of the Italian line, it's definitely a bit of a change. Because it's a line that's going to come out with really not that many premium ships. So when people are looking at that, they're always looking at good trainers.
Right.
So having that I don't really like the Duke at tier 6. I think the Abruzzi's much better at tier 7. Obviously, if you have the Julio Caesar at 5, I mean that's
That's a
amazing. But
trainer for everything.
yeah. Roma I think is pretty junky, but yeah, I think the Abruzzi stock has definitely gone up now that it has a line to supplement with its captain retraining.
Well, that also goes back to saying something like, why would you ever get the Bliss other than you want to play it? Because what are you going to do with your captain? You can't really put it anywhere, so it kind of loses a little bit of value that way, and that's kind of where you.
Well, not as much anymore.
Well,
Not as much anymore.
what they which they announced the Pan European line, which they're going to take the Verbis Unitas, which is a. I remember do you remember the first time that they put this out for testing? Those guns were like super accurate at tier 5, which was ridiculous.
Yeah.
And then they changed it to a regular. The Bliskovica and the Friesland are all going to go into this pan-European line. So that's something to look forward to, that you can go ahead and pick up the Bliss now if you want. If you see it on sale at all, pick it up, and then you can start training the captain for that entire line. Overall, the Bruzzi, my opinion on the Bruzzi, I think it's fine. I mean, it's not going to win any damage contests, but it could be annoying, and that's what cruisers' jobs are, to be annoying, right? Kill the DDs, play around the cap a little bit, kill the DD, whittle down some of those heals and some of those repairs. Don't expect really high damage volleys, but just a lot of them.
Yeah. Other than that, though, just the hill. I love the hill right now. It's my favorite shit to play.
The hill is amazing. All right, guys, let's go ahead and jump into the Q&A session. You ready for some questions, man?
You know what? I had a question for you earlier. I was thinking about this because I was thinking about the player base and making the comparison to rank battles. You have done this a lot more. I'm turning the podcast around on you.
All right.
You have done this a lot more where you've taken time off from World of Warships.
Okay.
And with obviously pretty much every stream of mine, I talk about WoW Classic coming up. August 27th, prepare thyself, World of Warcraft Classic.
Right.
I'll be streaming a decent amount. If you could play this isn't even Warships related.
Right.
If you could play one game as a streamer, and you know how it is, pull the same kind of numbers.
Right.
All that. What would you play? I wanted to ask you this.
I would go back in time to where I first started playing, and I would play. I would have those feels that I had for Diablo 3. But I don't have
like old school
the
auction
old school
house.
auction house Diablo 3. That was the most fun, and then I think the game. Well, I mean, that's a half an hour conversation in and of itself.
Yeah.
We'll just leave it at that. Old school Diablo 3, Diablo 2 would be another good option. I really like the long, grindy action RPG style hack and slashers. A little bit of skill here and there that you can kind of show off for things. I do like those games. Path of Exile was another one that I really enjoyed too. So probably one of those.
Yeah, Path of Exile has a pretty good community though. I mean, and speed running for Diablo 2 is a big thing.
Right. Path of Exile's community is, I think the majority of the streaming community is based in and out of the hardcore league. And which is fine. I have no problem with that. When I streamed it for 6 to 8 months, I was all hardcore, but it kind of lowered the stream value, I think, because I think my particular flavor of streaming is different than anybody else's, because I bring in a lot of people to chat with me, and I lost a lot of that because I can't play with other people playing hardcore, because I don't want to cause them to die, they don't want to cause me to die, and then it just got kind of old after 6 months of doing that. I was just like, I remember one time we were playing, and I was spinning around in circles doing things, and I just went like, oh shit, nothing was happening, but it was just like, oh shit, like it was rote. And then that was the day that I decided to switch to go back to Diablo for a while, and then I found Warships after that. So I was just like, there was not even exciting. I was bored just playing because nobody was talking to me, and I didn't have that in my ear like I do now. So
for sure.
So yeah, old school feels of Diablo 3, Diablo 2, some learning the tree again back in Path of Exile. That was a lot of fun. I don't know, man. I don't really look at a lot of games moving forward. So Borderlands 3 maybe.
There you go.
When that thing comes out, I was a real big fan of Borderlands.
Well, you said you're gonna play WoW Classic, right?
I have plans to play it. Don't know what I'm playing.
And you've never played it,
I
right?
have played maybe 10 hours of World of Warcraft over the course of since its release. I had a buddy of mine,
You
Shadow
are in
Sins.
for a ride.
Yeah, Shadow Sins hooked me up with all of everything up to Pandas. And I think Warlords. I think Warlords was after that. And we played. I got to like level 92 in Warlords, and then went and did other things, and never really went back to play it. So yeah, I'm interested. I'm not sure what to do. I'm not sure where to go. I'm willing to sit there and learn it and play it. For give it a good run, and see what we could do. So it'll be a lot of fun to get involved with it again. So or get
Just play
involved with it
Hunter.
at all. Just play
Play
what?
Hunter.
Well, I was
Hunter.
thinking.
It's the easiest class.
Well, I don't want easy. I want to challenge myself. So I'm
You
thinking.
you never even played it.
No,
You're
I
gonna
know
be
that,
so
but
screwed.
I don't want it. I don't want it to be easy. I want it to be hard. And I'm like, I enjoy more things if I'm learning, and that's why I enjoy this game because I'm learning every day about. Okay, I did this time. Now what do I do next time? If I'm in that same situation again, that's what I like. So if I want to take the hardest class out there and I want to learn that hardest class that I can, I'm gonna go play a undead warlock or some shit.
Well, see, a warlock would be. I was gonna say I would do a hunter or a warlock because you can.
Well, now I want to be a
Those
tank,
are gonna be
man.
easy.
God damn it.
Yep, easy peasy.
All right, guys, get your question in now, man. We got a few questions here. Well, we've got like 3 scroll wheels down of questions, or comments or whatever. So anyway, guys, here you go. Question and answering portion here. Mejash, Seal Clubbing at Till 5, typical toxic community contributor. That one's
Yep,
from
playing that hill.
That one's from
Killing
Brain Cage.
kamikaze art
NC
players.
Pokey. Don't forget about all the stuff coming up after the insane Benham grind. Well, what is next? What do you want them to do next?
Like event wise, or just in the game in general?
Just the game in general. We already talked about that a little bit, but talking about game modes, new game modes, separate the people that actually give a shit to the people that don't, and leave them in randoms. But what do you hope? What do you hope?
What do I hope? I hope that we see like there's so much that they could do, like a leaderboard of some sort of for like rank sprint, or a prestige mode for rank sprint, or some kind. I would love to see a development for ranked style play instead of just here's how many stars you need, here's your time frame, go get it. I would love to see some kind of accountability for having to go back, which they've kind of gotten rid of, right? Like you can just play a little bit here, play a little bit there, you get some steel, you get that. I would love to be like, okay, well, if you're continuing to play and continuing to get rank 1 or high ranks or some kind of rating, then there's stuff like that. I would love to see that. I would love to see some kind of marks of excellence, what I've talked about a lot, like that's in tanks. I would love to see something like that where it has a leaderboard, or it lets you know how you're doing with that. I would love to see more in-depth stuff around things that they basically already have in game that I can kind of track and have something to grind for, instead of just playing ranked to get steel, to get a ship, and then be over. I wish there's stuff I don't even need to be rewarded with ships of. I just want to see progress, things that I can progress towards long term instead of short term, which this whole game is basically just about short term.
I think that's why I was. I think that's another reason why I had such a problem with them bringing out the steel aspect of the game instead of, okay, now this is what my goal was. I was going to get those 5 rank outs. Well, why not do 7 rank outs? Why not do a boat at 7? Why not do a boat at 10? You get this 10 boat, and we're like, and then a lot of the people are like, well, this guy has an advantage because he has the ability to get this boat. We're like, everybody knows that if you play the boat like shit, it doesn't matter how good the boat is, it's still going to be shit because you play it like shit.
Yeah, I think that system, the original system, was flawed to a bit, because if you kept doing something that was like adding every 2 seasons, right? 3, 5, 7, 9, 11. How daunting is that for new players? Maybe if you cap it at all the new ships are 5 seasons, 5 seasons to a point was at 2 years of play. Maybe that's pretty doable, but I think that was the biggest flaw of, you start playing the ship, you see somebody in whatever. What's the
plaque.
latest? The news. Yeah, well, just like the news. Well,
The
then the
news
newest.
for Shimmy, yeah.
Or yeah, or upcoming in the summers. Let's just use that as
Yeah.
an example.
All right.
That would have been the equivalent of 13 rank 1 seasons. I mean, that at 3 seasons a year, that's going to be
It's like
4 years
4 years,
of
yeah.
play, you know? So that was the biggest flaw with the old system. But I miss having a long-term goal. It's all just about like right now, get it quick, get it done, and then you're on to the next thing. I that's why I like RPGs so much. Is there's a long-term goal. I have things I need to do. I
Right.
have this instead of just hopping on, doing dailies, hopping on, which I feel like the game is very much for. And I feel like there was a good point of a guy. He described he kind of described like the death of games of like the egg timer effect. If you make the game not about just playing the game, but about logging on and doing things, and he's actually one of the old WoW Classic devs, but he did a really kind of deep thought on the game gets all about the egg timer effect, where you have to get on and do something, and then you're done with it very quickly, and then you wait for the egg timer to come back up, and then you do it again when the egg timer is done. That's kind of the death of the game, and I feel like that's kind of what World of Warships is kind of heading to, towards a very casual style of play, very quick and quick rewards kind of thing. So
That's
I miss long term
that's
stuff.
something that I've tried to avoid in a lot of things. You get that, mobile games have that all over the place. But I think that I'm just gonna say yes, I agree with you, because I don't know how to explain it without going into like an hour long discussion.
Yeah.
And I don't want to do that right now. That's a whole other podcast. Astrom says, bring back the tugboats. All right. Fitz in your mom says, I loved it and made it games quicker, and everybody was into position sooner, meaning action, not boring, sitting and waiting for one mistake that will change the game. He's talking about the epicenter.
Yeah.
Epicenter. That's what we saw as well. If they do, and if they wonder if they do subs like Battle Stations Midway. I've never played Battle Stations Midway, so I have no reference. Have you?
Yeah, I haven't either.
All right. Aladrell says in-game sonar hydro wasn't a short duration consumable, so that would be different. We're talking also about submarines. I think there's.
Yeah, I
I
don't know.
still think that there's so many things that they would have to add or bring into the game to make subs work. Um, it's a thing. So the next NT Pokey says, can we see a status update about Mejash setting up his stream deck?
It's a collector's item. It's still in the box. Take it out, loses its value.
It's got MIBs. It's MIBs, man. Mint in box.
Yeah.
MIBs. Imagine how butthurt people will get if there will be no Snowflake event this year. I hope that they.
Oh.
I honestly hope that they don't do it, but I'm pretty sure that they will, because they've set a precedent about doing it and then selling another campaign every year. Do you think that they'll do it again?
I think they'd be stupid now. I don't. It's. They made so much money. It made way too many people happy. People can kind of, plan their whatever. I mean, they'd be stupid not to do a new Snowflake event. It gets people playing. It gets people buying premium time. It gets people buying the campaign. They'd be idiotic not to do another Snowflake. I'm surprised that we haven't seen more stuff like that where they sell campaigns for steel.
Right. Failsafe 2000 says, yes. Let's let people skip over all the content that you people worked hard on for months and months and months. Well, I mean, hey, that's just the way the state of the game right now. I hate the early access crap. I used to love it when the new Aligned released. Now it's just a confusing mess. That's NT Pokey. I think some of these events, when they do release them, like this one, the Rogue Wave event, they were kind of convoluted and a little bit long. I don't know. I mean, it didn't bother me. I mean, we ground out all the shit that we needed to grind out on it, but just become a little bit convoluted. Okay, now I got to play all these boats to get these little tokens just so I can open a box. They really like their boxes, goddammit.
Yeah, I mean, you can still get them through the directives. You can still get them through other stuff. But yeah, I feel like this is probably majority of stuff they're doing is they're testing stuff. So that's why I always kind of look at the bigger picture.
Right.
But yeah, we'll probably start seeing more things like this because it's easy for them to track and it gets people playing tiers. Like it's kind of a genius thing for them to do because, well, it'd be genius if it got them to not allow it in co-op. But it gets people playing all the tiers because they basically have to.
Right.
So,
Eh, you
I
know,
imagine we'll see more things like this in the future.
surprisingly enough, this is basically running a gauntlet, right? You're familiar with the gauntlet format.
Yeah.
All right. So when I was doing the gauntlet last month, it took me like a week to do all the premiums, and I got into some boats that I haven't played. You know, the Montpelier, the Yukikaze, and some of these other boats that you don't really see a whole lot of. And I found out that Yukikaze has the greatest sounds because when you hit torpedoes on people, she laughs at them. It's hilarious. It's one of the most funniest thing I've seen. So maybe this is an idea for people to go back and play some ships that they haven't played in a long time and be like, oh, I really like this boat. Or, yep, I knew that. That one's a piece of shit. At the end of the day, they are a business and they need to generate the income to survive. Bills and investors don't get paid not having the capacity to create a revenue. This is doomsday. That's is why talking about the co-oping and so on.
I mean, I agree. I just hope that they're taking the money they're earning and hopefully put it into something that's
some game modes.
Fun.
Give me some game modes, man. I used to give Wargaming lots of money, but that's what they've been doing lately. It's made me stop. It's not good for business either. While I'm sure there's a lot more people out there that are giving more money now than there were back when we first started playing, because there wasn't as many players. And what's the first thing you do when somebody comes in there? Hey, how do I level up, Mejash? What do you do? Tell them you buy some fucking premium time.
Yeah. I always at first I always tell people to just play the game and not worry about it. And then the best investment I think you could do in this game is premium time.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, that's easily the best thing. But you can get so much stuff for free now. That's the best part. You can almost supplement and throughout these events a lot of your play time, a lot of your premium time through it. I mean, you may even be able to do the majority of your play through, or like get months throughout this update of premium time for free, just by buying like those little things. I mean, you can get a lot of stuff in this game.
I tend to agree. I mean, like premium time, you can play the game, and I tell people like, well, it depends on how much you're playing. I mean, like if you come in and you're only going to play on the weekend, you start on Friday, and you can just no life it till Sunday. Just wait, spend $5 every Friday, get you that weekend pass, get you a little bit of doubloons, save those doubloons, and then eventually you're going to have a big stack of doubloons. You're going to be able to buy that premium time because $250 for 24 hours. If you're going to actually play it, then fine. But if you're only going to be playing on the weekend, there's no reason to spend the $12 on a month because you're wasting your money and wasting your time.
Yep.
So that's just something to move forward to. Rockaholic Raven says rental tier 10 ships was the worst thing that they ever did. I think for clan battles and stuff like that, because you guys are generally, you have to specifically choose, okay, well, I don't have another boat. We need a Moskva. You play the rental Moskva. Fine, whatever. I think it's fine in clan battles, but not for rank season.
Yeah, I mean, that's the main thing. Clan battles. So I have my own thought process. I mean, I have my own opinion on rental ships. Very brief. I don't think rental ships were that big of a deal. I think it was a very easy thing for people to blame for the season so bad. That's just my opinion. I respect everyone else's opinion. Right. Do I think they'll do rental ships again in ranked battles? No, because of how completely unpopular it was. But the main thing that made people mad, and the main difference between clan battles and ranked battles was clan battles, you at least know who is playing the rental ship. And that is the difference. You know the player who was in the rental ship. In ranked battles, you don't know who this player is. You then just assume they're bad. You do not see when they play well, but then when they play bad, that's the reason why you lost them. So,
fucking rental ships.
I felt like, yeah, I felt like rental ships were just the easy scapegoat for this past season. The worst play I saw this past season was not from rental players. Nope. It was from tech tree ships, coal ships, players. But it wasn't popular. It is what it is.
We have two notions in the chat now to bring back Bastion mode. Zero experience in the game, straight to the high tier bracket. Just a little comment there. Justin Ozzy says these people are pretty proud of their 43% win rate. I don't know. Whatever.
I don't know if they're proud. I just don't think they care. I think that's the difference. I mean, they just don't care at that point, right? You're just
A
playing
lot
to
of those
play.
43% win rate players are bad, and they don't know that they're bad, and they think that Josh, you're the problem.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and they're just I don't know. I don't know how to react to those guys other than shut the fuck up. Just play the game. Just play the game. Nobody
Just let
wants to
them do
listen to
their
you.
thing,
Yeah.
man.
Do you feel that free to play competitive games are taken less seriously than paid for competitive games?
No, I mean League of Legends and Dota, uh, pretty pretty serious games there.
Yeah.
Fortnite, pretty serious for the competitive. So I feel
Uh,
like those three games alone are all free to play and taken pretty serious.
Rim 54. Does random matchmaker factor in average XP per battle or the number of battles, etc.? I don't know. No, there's no. It's just random on who is in the tier. Like
Yeah, it just
who's at this tier. Uh, and in fact, they went into some detail about how Matchmaker works at the Anchors Away at Anaheim video that I watched, saying this is where Sub Octavian was saying that in the past, because there was so little tier 10 boats out there at the beginning of the game, that they had to adjust the matchmaker. They had to adjust the matchmaker to pull tier 10s into the games first as a reward for these players so they didn't have to sit there because there wasn't too many people that actually had fucking tier 10 boats. Now, 3 years on from that, or 4 years on from that, now there is a whole lot of tier 10 players, and they're still on the same old matchmaker where they're pulling from tier 10s first. Now, they did say something about shifting that to pulling tier 8s first, so the tier 8s would be, pulled in first, and you would have more 8s and then a smattering of 10s here and there. But as we saw, that didn't really come to fruition either, as they are now going to a percentage based. You can have 40% in tier 10 if you're a tier 8, and then the rest of it trickles down to wherever the other percentage is that I don't remember. So that's the way it's made up right now. So they need
there's a lot of tinfoil hats for how the matchmaking works.
yeah. Well, I mean
Yeah.
that's what he said. I can only go off of what he said
Yeah.
though. But either way, they need to make an elitist queue based on your overall win rate. All right. Enjoy sitting in queue for 25 minutes. OG
Yeah.
Mad Willie have a seasonal set of rewards and competitive scene 4 seasons of year. That has a lot of merit there. I want to do something that nobody else can get unless they do this objective, which makes that more valuable to the person earning it and more desirable to the person that wanting to get into it. I think that's a thing. This is why. Yeah, I'll go right back to the black. I mean, that was desirable for me, and it made me feel really good when I got it. And I think that if they can separate these rewards from, you have to earn this to be able to get this. You cannot buy this anywhere. I think that'll go a long way to encourage people to move into some new territory. What do you think?
Yeah. I mean, I that's why I was saying I wish there was this game is all about immediate rewards. I wish there was something long term that I could look forward to, but I really don't have any to really look forward to. You know, I slowly earn my steel. I get all the ships really fast. I don't have anything that's long term to work on. The only thing I have long term to work on is to start another account and grind up lines again. That's about it.
Yep. Well, now you can do that with enabled training centers there.
That's-
Stay on your main account.
Yep.
Ashley, aka Ashley, says, "Hey, Sir Venom, does Mejash ever dream about not living in a door factory?"
Hey, exclamation mark doors in chat. I mean, that answers the question right there. I like all my doors. I like storing my stuff. Don't worry about it. Can we get a ban on that person, please?
Rockaholic Raven says, "What do you think he keeps behind those doors? All those weeb body pillows that you guys send him."
Tons of hentai.
Yeah, the guys, I'm telling you, man, you need to take my bikini picture, put it on one of them body pillows, and send it to Jash. Have it sit up there next to it.
God.
That would be amazing, man. I'd buy one of those.
I'll have to move out of the state just to get away from it.
Tokens are good for a basic grind system, but it does get old. That's from Smokey. It kind of gets old. I mean, you can get them done. I mean, it's something to do, I guess, for a day, and then you can just spam out 100 fucking co-op games in a day.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of become like the meme, right? Is like, oh, new currency, new currency, new currency. It's just so much easier for wargaming to just do that for everything. Think of a name. It's the thing you earn on this. You get enough of the things, and then you buy the thing. So it's just like it's cool. It's easy for them to do, and I imagine that'll be kind of the pattern
Right.
for everything.
Grubsteak says, "Are they talking about co-op and to get the event tokens?" Yes, we were. Queuing for co-op has taken 0.1 seconds now. Insta queuing in co-op.
Yeah.
How do you like the Duca? I think the Duca's all right, but it's nothing. It's not top at all. I think it's like closer to the bottom of goodness
Yeah.
for tier 6.
It can be in a rough matchmaking tier, and it has a very very short range without having smoke. So it's in a
14
rough world.
kilometers.
Yeah, and a super low fire chance.
Question for later. What do you guys think about adding an SAP button gun option for the for the two Ducas that have the Italian national flavor? Adding a Spanish gun, like when they fire off, they go arriba or something, or like pasta.
Dude,
It's me.
there's
It's a me,
there's
the
a lot
Duca.
of things they can do with cosmetics in this game. Purely cosmetics, audio. I mean,
Well, now wait a second. We've heard it from them themselves that they're limited on what they can do
I
cosmetically.
know the historical. Yeah, they're
Yeah,
limited
but here's
by
some space
realism.
camos. Here's some
Forgot how
Azure Lane
they
camos. You
worded
know.
it. Historical accuracy. I think they're limited by.
Yeah. I get. Will they? Here, this is something he posted twice, so I'll go ahead and read this. When do you think they will bring the Kremlin in line with the rest of the Russian line, with the slower turret traverse and less AA, because that belongs with the Americans? Who cares? I mean, the Kremlin is nasty. You put on Victor Neminsky or one of the Neminsky brothers, shit. With that expert marksman buff on it.
When do I think they will nerf the Russian battleship down to reality with the other lines? Never. I think what we see is what we get for that entire line.
When will they nerf the Russian battleships down to reality? Whenever they buff the
Yeah.
German ships to reality.
Yeah, we'll probably see, instead of them just simply nerfing those ships down, we'll probably just see slowly over the next couple of years, a couple buffs for the other ships. I think that's probably what we'll see.
Yeah. Do you guys think that they will sell the Benham at some point? Absolutely. Honestly, I think when the rank season comes out, they'll be selling it in packages because it's tier 9.
Oh yeah.
And that's what they did with the Belfast. They put it out there and then they sold it, took it off, and then sold it when the tier 7 rank season showed up. So.
I mean, a good example is like they've said, oh, this is only gonna be earned through event tokens or whatever, right? Well, that was the whole thing with the Lazo, and even the Irian, I believe, was only available through that
Chinese New Year, I think it was.
So all of those were quote unquote only available through those, and then after that we saw them sell it. So yeah, I mean they're not dumb when it comes to making money. They make a ton of money on this game. I feel like they would. I feel like they'd be absolutely idiotic to not sell that ship. They'd sell 1 billion of them.
The Benham is too strong. Even though you're not going to want to gunfight this thing, the Benham is just drop a torp, turn, drop a torp. By the time you're full turn again, your torps are ready to go. Drop those torps, then turn, drop those other torps. Man, it's ridiculous the amount of area deniability that you have to spit out there with the Benham. Rockaholic Raven says, any new ideas for consumables, water mines, torpedoes, nets, so on? No.
Sorry, go.
No, the only thing that I was gonna say is fucking chaff launcher. Maybe fuck up the radar a little bit. I still think radar lasts too long in some of these boats. There's no reason for it to last for 50 seconds plus. But that was also making radar a module so you could damage it and knock it out, because there's no counter to it other than being at 11 kilometers or 12 kilometers or 13 kilometers, whatever it is. There's really no counter to it at this point, and there's no risk for a lot of them.
I mean, like, would it be fair to like get smoke knocked out?
They knock out my guns, they knock out my torps, they knock out my motor, we can't knock out their radar. They can see through the smoke with the radar. There's no counter to radar though. That's the thing.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't. Do I think they'll do it? No, I don't think it's really that big of a problem.
No, no. But anyway, back to the question. Any ideas for consumables?
I can see them doing some kind of radar jammer. I feel like that would be kind of a cool thing, like a radar jammering, where like it goes out wider, right? Like a 15 kilometers, it jams everything within that.
Hydras and
Um,
everything.
yeah, like all that kind of stuff. It just kind of counters all that for maybe a long time. Um,
What do you? What do you?
but I'd also like to see some kind of maybe like I mean, they're limited by it. It seems stupid, but I don't know. Maybe like a line of ships that can heal.
Other ships
Like
like repair
yeah,
ships. Yeah,
like some kind of repair ships.
this is something that a lot of people have brought up in the past in my channel actually. Is you see it in Raptor Rescue where you can go sit up next to these little tenders and you can heal your ship. And why
Yeah,
not? Why not an AOE fire putter outer thing? Why not an AOE heal that you can actually sit there and actually play a support? And the only when you bring that up to the devs, it's like, well, nobody will ever want to fucking play that. I'm like, bullshit. I fucking play healers all the time. I play support. I don't give a shit. I'm gonna support you, and then you can reward them based on how much they're doing.
yeah.
The only downside that I can see to this, the only downside that I can see to this is it's going to encourage the fucking death ball even more.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, you could have like a division of healing ships. Like, are you going to be able to do anything through them? So yeah, but I mean, like for just talking, it's not my job to balance ships, but cool things I'd like to see
Yeah.
is maybe a radar jammer, some kind of maybe a healing thing would be cool.
Well, I mean, they have the
Maybe
mechanics in the
deployable
game
smoke
right
at like
now,
range.
right? They
Cool.
have the mechanics in it right now, as we saw with the Turpits
Yeah,
in the last Halloween event, where you had that. The more damage you did, the bigger that fucking circle got, and you could actually throw out a lot of heal. So the mechanics are in the game for it. It's just a matter if they want to implement it on an entire line.
well, I mean, yeah, we've gone through the last two big Halloween events. We saw multiple things that were, in my opinion, tests for new consumables. So, is anything on the horizon? Probably not. I don't know, but or would there be some things that they definitely have at least tested to see if it works? Yeah, I mean, I think we've tested 8 or 9 different consumables over the past couple of years in just the Halloween event alone.
Oh, absolutely. Uh, the new game mode is probably my number one want for warships, and that's Mad Minister. I agree. I would like some new game modes as well. Uh, what they are, I don't know. Anything to break up the monotony of what randoms battles are. If they're going to make it if they're going to make it into ranked or whatever, I don't care. Just give me something. Give me something other to do than random battles all the time.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff I even brought up with wargaming, like giving them ideas for game modes when we were in Russia. Uh, like they could, like an idea that maybe sounds stupid, but I think would be quite popular, is having some kind of, Call of Duty has the zombie mode.
Right.
You could do that kind of thing in that where it's a division of 3 or a division of or a group of 5 or something. You could have that, and then the longer and longer you survive, the more and more points you get, and then there's a monthly leaderboard on that. And there's because I think wargaming really underestimates bragging rights in this game and what
Yeah.
people want. People want to see themselves on a oh, I'm top 100 or I'm top 10 or I'm
Yeah.
top this. I think they underestimate that what people are willing to do just to get some bragging
Now
rights.
we have a little bit more of a flushed out idea that's similar to this here on the channel. Is you started out in waves, right? You're just exactly like that. You start out at tier ones, and then you move into tier tens, and then after you get to the tier tens, then you double the hit points on everything, and then you just continue to roll over 8, 9, and 10 with the continuing graduation of hit points. Does that make it harder? Yes. And you have so many heals, or you can pick up little loot boxes around the map, not unlike Arms Race, to get your heal back, or to do all of these things. I think that game mode has probably more merit than any other game mode that I've heard about right now. And
Oh,
that would be so much fun Just okay, guys. We're taking the Massachusetts in here. You have to limit it. You have to limit it to a tier. You can't put them at tier 10. So you have to limit it to something tier 8 or something like that because then
Mhm.
you just absolutely smash through every tier at tier 10. But you make it a fucking challenge, and give it let's say 6 through 8. 6 through 8 is the only tiers that you could use, and if you do a 6, you get more experience the longer you go than you would at tier 8 because they're smaller boats.
Um, uh, One thing that and this is obviously still a meme too. Maybe the meme isn't still there because not as many companies are making them. But one that came away from the Savage battles, was it just a full blown VR mode?
I thought it was
Um,
great.
where you would, and now people in chat might give me some shit about this, but like where you go in and you start off with a very base ship, and you go and same arms race. Maybe there's drops, there's air drops where you can go off there, and it's a map maybe 4 times the size of a tier 4 map, and it's 20 teams of 2 or something like that. And when you kill an enemy, that was the worst part. That was my biggest pet peeve about Savage battles, is when you killed an enemy. A lot of the times, what ended up happening is you'd go towards the cap, they would get the buff, you'd kill them instantly, and that buff would be gone.
Right.
Like, I wish like they would drop the
Drop the
buffs that you
buffs.
could
Yeah.
pick up. Go and pick them up. I would love a mode like that. It builds a story. You start out
Yeah.
this. You didn't get shit for drops. You could make yourself into a battleship. You could make yourself into a DD, something like that.
Yeah.
I would love things like that.
That would be fantastic. I know that's something that we joked about 2 years ago about guys. I'm telling you, boys, they're going to bring it out. There's going to be buffs on the map. You're going to be able to pick it up. You're going to be able to heal yourself. You're not going to be able to kill the other motherfucker because they picked up the fucking shield and blah blah blah. I'm glad it didn't go that route on it, but they did in the Halloween event. But that's something that we have talked about on the show a long time ago, and to see some of that come to fruition, it was a great mode. I mean, BR mode was pretty good, and again,
Mhm.
I still contend this was probably the purest form that I have ever seen in this game of skill based matchmaking because and how much of it were you outboating them as you were playing the tier 3s versus the tier 1 boats, and then once you were playing against the other tier 3s, it was nothing but pure skill between the two of you guys. He was a gunboat, so you had to get up close. Whatever. It was so much fun to do. I really enjoyed it, and I hope they bring that mode back again. Not soon, but in the future.
Yeah, I think they can definitely do something more with it.
All right, boys. We got doesn't look like we have more questions out there, but we've hit our 2 hour limit here today. And I know Mejash, you're going to show you're gonna run a show as well here for a little bit. And
That's good. How many? Oh, you want to hop on? I'm good to keep answering. I'm good to keep going.
all right,
If you want to.
well, there's only a few more. One of them is when will they change this? We have no idea. They haven't said anything about it. When will they change that? How about a mode where you select 5 different ships, taking into the account +2 matchmaking, and you can respawn up to 5 times in battle? That kind of sounds like World of Warplanes to me. I don't know how that would work. I mean, we saw with I guess it was the last Halloween event where you could respawn and then go back into the defending guys.
It was the I don't think it was Halloween. It was the space event, wasn't it? That was the
You're
one
right.
with
You're right.
Respawn?
Space event.
Yeah.
Uh, that was okay. I mean, whatever. I mean, I didn't really feel all that special about that mode. Did you?
Um, because I think it took like long. The more times you died, it took longer to respawn.
Right.
Outside of just everyone pretty much leaving as soon as they died, no matter what. Uh,
Yeah, we had a
still,
couple of those.
yeah, that came up even in the conversation with the CC Discord, was the a respawn style thing, and I think it's okay if the game mode is done right, but I feel like there still has to be some kind of punishment in this game of playing poorly. And if we start letting everybody respawn in all types of game modes, is there really a punishment? It almost promotes, which that was one thing I hated in World of Warplanes, was people would go out of their way and just ram you, and like, because they would guarantee the kill. If it was like a little plane versus a big plane, they would just ram you, and it'd be a 1-for-1 trade basically. That was super annoying because they could just respawn. So respawning is okay if done right, but it's all can wargaming do it correctly.
Right. Uh, we've already talked about what are your take on the submarines seen in the last mini games last fall? They were fine for events. It was relatively okay. I think it's
Yeah,
got a lot
I
of
would
work
be
to do.
surprised.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we are so far away from seeing them. Like,
I'm thinking 2 years minimum.
I mean, maybe next year, we'll start seeing some stuff, but I think we're pretty far away from something being in there.
Agreed. A game mode series of linked scenario battles where the survivors of the previous scenario battle meet up to continue on the next stage. Yeah,
It's kind of the same thing.
it's
It's
kind of
just
what we're talking
waves.
about.
Yeah.
Survival mode sounds best right now. I had an idea about a Zero Dark 30 game mode where spotting flares and lower concealment. So, well, they did the Operation, what was it, Blossom, Night Cherry Blossom or some shit like that, where it was the night battles. I thought that mode was okay, but I think that if you do get spotted, there should have been a harsher punishment because I'd get in there and get spotted and I'd barely take any damage.
Yeah, I mean it's an operation, so
Yeah.
I know somebody brought up like hard mode operations. That'd be kind of cool. I think there's a lot of stuff they could do in this game for the PvE side, which I know some people think is kind of ignored. But
I know that guy.
yeah, but
But I mean, but that's the same guy that thinks the bots are
there's a
too
hard mode
accurate
option that's
in
not clickable. So
co-op.
yeah. But I mean, even if you pull up an operation, there's a hard mode. It's just not clickable. So,
I think that hard mode. I think that hard mode is a failure because Operation Narai, I feel, is probably the hardest. I think there's one of them. I don't remember exactly what it's called. One of the hardest ones out there that people are still to this day complaining that they can't finish it. They can't get the 5th star on it. And I remember playing it with TC Freer one day, and I was like, all right, this is just easy. This is just easy peasy. But man, then the people go out there and they run into the enemy, and I'm like, man, no wonder you're fucking losing this shit because you're not playing it smart. You're not sitting back. You're not relaxing, and so I understand why people think it's hard. And I just waiting for the shitstorm if they ever actually do put hard mode out there. These bots are too hard, bro.
yeah, I don't know. I feel like just
The base
operations.
defense, yeah, Naval Station Newport, I guess is the one that's too hard.
I don't want to be mean to operation players. I feel like I don't feel like there aren't enough people playing operations. I feel like it's a waste of time for wargaming, but I think that's partially because you get rewarded. You get rewarded for doing it once. Once you get 5-star, you get all the rewards.
Right. There's no reason to play it
So
after that.
there's no reason to keep playing it. But there's no way that everything has to be some kind of profitable, right? There's player retention, something like
Right.
that. I have a hard time seeing operations being worth their time as a game mode and the amount of time. I mean, that has to go into it to make it.
Right. I don't think that everything feeds back into the main purpose of this game. The main purpose of this game is to get to that tier 10 boat. That is the ultimate purpose of this game. Would you agree with that?
Oh yeah, for sure.
All right. So I know a lot of people don't think that. A lot of people play it for other reasons, and that's fine. But all that feeds back into the main deal. Any way that you can get experience to get on those boats to throw it into the next tier, then that is what's going to happen. Now, all depending on how they reward it. After I've done it once, I can tell you last time I went to a fucking op and played. It's been a good 6 months or more.
Yeah, mine's been, if not even longer than that. I don't have no interest. It's like, what do I go in? I go in there and get a day of premium, or it's nice if you need that stuff, but
Right.
there's no incentive to.
Now, for the new
really
players out there, let's talk about the new players. Those are great things to go get new captains. 10-point captain right off the bat. Go in there and once you have the tier 5 boat, get you another captain out of it, and get you a day of premium time. That's a great place to go get new captains. Speaking of new captains, they released their 1,500 doubloons apiece, and like 4 or 5 more captains maybe it's 5 in the Revolution. None of them have special skills, so is it worth 1,500 doubloons? Probably not. But if you need a 10-point captain and you got the doubloons, you might as well.
Yep. There you go.
There goes my camera again. Wah wah wah. It's been doing this for the last couple of weeks. It's kind of awkward there. I apologize for that, guys. We're hanging out with my man Mejash and Mejash. You guys can hit him up over on twitch.tv/Mejash. I'm gonna call you Mejash, and I know it's me, Josh, or my guy there.
Whatever.
Whatever. I mean, shit. Hey, you
Yeah,
jackass piece of shit. I've answered to it all. I was
that's
in the
right.
name. And you guys can also hit him up on his Twitter at MeJashTV. For you guys over on YouTube, I am SirVenomIK. What up? You guys can hit me up here on twitch.tv/SirVenomIK or at Sir_Venom_IK over on the Twitters. I want to thank my man Mejash for joining us again this week. It's an absolutely fantastic time. I always love talking to you. And I know we have some talks in the discords every once in a while, and I come over hang out in your channel. You come over hang out for a little while. I do appreciate it. Thank you very much for helping me out on the shows. They're always a good time. You're more than welcome to come back at any point in time in the future.
No problem, man.
Now's the time, Josh, where you promote your channel. Go for it. What you working on? What you got going?
I'll be heading to Vancouver for DreamHack. That'll be fun. But when I get back, we'll just be kind of pushing through. We're doing the Road to Tier 10 stuff. We're doing all the new content. We have the new rank seasons coming out. Just kind of staying current. New clan battles out. So, and just doing some fun stuff with the Danger Clan. Our new kind of account for rank sprint. So,
all right.
Yeah.
How did that go? By the way, it was a new account, no premiums, just playing through. How did that rank sprint go for you guys? I know you were putting on an event.
Yeah. No, it was a lot. So if you guys don't know about it, we made all brand new accounts, and we kind of limited because rank sprint you can do it so fast, and so we made the rules. The only downside is when you make a new account to unlock rank battles in rank sprint or rank battles, you had to play like 130 games. That was the only downside. So playing that. It was really cool, but we made the rules. You can only use tech tree ships, and you had to play solo queue for rank sprint, and then we handed out rewards for the people who finished in the top three highest win percentage. So I actually won the first season of rank sprint. I got I ranked out in the lowest amount of games, and I got tied for first in the second season. But no, it was cool. One thing was, we made it kind of goofy fun, and people were playing more than they had in a long time because it gave people more things to do. Because I mean, like, I don't know about you, but if I kind of give myself like a goal,
objective,
an end objective, it makes you kind of want to play more and focus on things more. And I feel like, again, that's what this game's kind of lacking. So I'm trying to think of more things like that in the future to work on these, especially these new accounts.
I say until you're ready to do it, keep it to yourself, or somebody's gonna steal it.
What do you mean? What do you mean? Wasn't that an original idea?
I don't know what you're talking about. I ain't gonna do that, man.
Hey, man.
Gonna do that. I barely like to play my sub account. I've had a Steam account, and I've got my EU account. I don't barely play them at all. Although I did play my Steam account this time in the rank sprints, and I ranked out in the Colorado twice. And it was perfect for it too. I mean, well, the epicenter was perfect for it because it didn't have to move very much, which is fantastic.
I thought Venom. I thought they had that idea for a while. They were just asking me what all we had to do in mind.
Oh yeah. Let me.
Was that what it was?
How are you doing yours? So and see if
can I see your rules real quick?
Yeah,
I had the same idea.
Oh
cool.
yeah. Look, here's my rules. Here, look, it's dated. Yeah. It's dated. There. Yeah. Look. Timestamp. Hell yeah. God, man, that kind of irks you, doesn't it?
Funny.
It doesn't matter. Guys, go check out Mejash's channel. What's your schedule like? You still on the same old schedule?
Yeah, we're starting earlier now. So I was going. This is all Eastern Standard. So I think I don't know what it is. Are we -5 now? GMT. I don't know what it is anymore.
I'm 6. I'm 6. -6.
So I think I'm 5 now.
Yeah.
So I think daylight savings time. But I was going 6:30 to like 1:30, 6:30 to 1, and I want to start going from 5 p.m. to midnight, so I can go a little bit early in the day, and so I don't stay up as late. And it's kind of busy. So trying to be a little bit more EU friendly for times, and it's kind of working out. So
there you go. So that means Sir Venom's going to come up at 7, and go until after he's done, guys.
There you go. Easy peasy.
That's the way it works, boys.
Yep.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. Episode 29 is in the books, boys. That is it. I just want a quick programming note. Next week, we got Earl Grey going to come on us. That's right. Earl Grey, the guy himself. You know, he is our CC handler. You know, that's a whole KGB spy thing. He's our CC handler. He's going to come on July the 30th, but it'll be at 9 a.m. because it's 5 p.m. over there. Over in St. Petersburg at 9 a.m. my time. So that's U.S. Central Time as well. So if you guys are interested in coming in for that, guys, if y'all have any questions for Earl Grey for next week, send them to me in Twitter DMs or Discord or Twitch DMs, and I'll get some questions in and asking him for that. But that's July the 30th, next Tuesday at 9 o'clock in the morning. So that'll be a lot of fun, and you guys can come in and ask somebody who actually knows something. About what's coming up in the future, or something that maybe he can actually talk to us about. So that'll be a lot of fun. Mejash, thanks again, man. I do appreciate it. Go play some games. We're gonna go have some fun. I'm gonna go probably try to do two brothers runs up the middle after this. What are you up to tonight?
Wednesdays every week we've started doing a new segment. It's been a lot of fun, but we do replay analysis. So
I heard about this.
Yeah.
From what I understand, you've been posting your stuff on Twitter saying that it's another good session of replay. I have a little clip for you later. I'll send it to you later.
That's fine. Yeah, we have a Discord channel up. People post their replays, and then we go through, and then we watch the replay. I kind of do a play-by-play, just what I'm looking for, what I'm breaking down, and then we have some pretty cool tools we use to kind of John Madden-esque, where you can kind of draw on the map. It's a pretty well, it's this cool website that you can pull up the maps and pull up the game modes, and you can kind of draw which ship is going where. So it's mainly just that's kind of been like the focus of my channel. I guess has changed over like the last year. I've tried to go like a lot more like educational. So like Wednesday nights is kind of like more like all about education, and so just trying to teach people like, hey, this is what you look for. This could be done better. So it's mainly just about that. So it's always fun to do on Wednesday. So
that's
we post all the replays on my YouTube channel.
That's Mejash Winston University in association with the Venom's School of Averageness. There you go. You should make that in a T-shirt. Buddy. Winston U. There you go.
There you go, man.
There you go. Ideas, baby. Ideas. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for watching. I am Sir Venom IK, and that man is Mejash. Say goodbye, Mejash.
Bye-bye.
There it is, boys. We're going to go ahead and mark our marker there. Boom. Let's get a hard cut. Bang. And now we're good. Mejash, thank you very much again, man. I do appreciate you coming on to the show. No problem, fucking had an absolute blast. If you're welcome to hang out, I guess you're going to go do your show now. So I guess that's it, man. Go have fun. I got
All right, dude.
We're done, man. We're done.
We're
awesome,
done.
Guys. That was awesome, guys. We're gonna hang out here for just a little bit, and then we're gonna jump into some the co-oping. I guess I don't know what the fuck I'm gonna do tonight. I got 25 more Tier 7 games to do.
Well, see, I can't update my my game because all the replays are from the last patch.
Oh, that's right.
So like if I updated my game, I kind of want to fuck it all over. So
yeah, I understand that.
We're gonna be doing that. So we're just hanging on the old version.
Yeah. Well, you can always go to China and get that last ditch effort on the old school CVs.
Well, I just wish it wasn't so. I just wish the replay system wasn't so dog shit. You know?
Yeah, it deletes them every month. Every patch, man.
Well, no, you can change that now. You can change that.
You can't even watch it.
Yeah, you can't watch them, so you have to find an old thing.
When it rolls over, yeah. It's kind of frustrating.
I would have loved to have like a website even by Wargaming that's hosted where you can take even like old replays and they like within that website they have a version of maybe the last 10 patches that you could maybe like hold on to them. I would love something like that and play it through like their own player that you can maybe record. Like that would be awesome. But yeah, so I just have to be whenever they do a patch on Wednesday, like that's always the shitty part is I have to be really. So I had to turn my auto updates off because it just kind of fucks over everything.
Yeah, I've never been a real big game replay guy. Like most of the videos that we do on the YouTube channel is just me sitting there giving out about something or or telling people maybe I'll show up a picture or something. I'm not too big on the game replay and then talking over it. I don't know. I just that's just not my style, I guess. But I have have enjoyed your fucking videos, man. Have enjoyed
I
your
like
fucking
it.
videos,
You
man.
know, like I always say, I would love, and I don't want this to sound like elitist or anything like that, but like I would love to do like like at an event or something like that, do a sit down and like with like 3 or 4 people and just like watch them play and then like break down stuff with them. I would love to do that because I always wonder, like you know how you watch people just do like the stupidest plays and you
Yeah.
go in their
Like,
head that was the best play.
yeah, I'm like, what are you thinking? Like,
Like
I try to do that. Sometimes I'll be like, okay, now I have to ask, what were you thinking there? I mean, I'm not trying to be a
yeah,
dick or nothing, but I want to know what was going through your head. Why did you do that? You literally went through the cap and turned broadside to get your torps off, and you're in a Miyoko, and then the guy shit on you, and now you're bitching because you have no support. And
or
what did you think was going to happen? You were going to get these torps off, and he wasn't going to shoot at you. I mean, I would like to pick people's brains, and it's really hard to do that. It's really, really hard to do that. I would love to do
well
that myself.
it's hard to do it because you know online you just go uh you
And
know
even if
you
you're,
ask some random person like, hey, why'd you do that, and they go fuck your mother, you know,
yeah,
like
yeah.
they're not going to do that in person. So it would be a little different. I think that'd be the fun
I
part.
mean, you can kind of do that when you're playing with that person. Kind of okay. Well, you need to go over here now. This is the important thing. You should do this. But then it just kind of feels like you're dictating to them. Okay, you need to do this, and you're playing my style
Yeah,
instead of them learning on their own. Um, I would love to be able to do. It's so hard for me because um, if I die early, and then I can just kind of be able to sit back and watch and be like, okay, well, why are you doing this? What do you think?
yeah,
Yeah, I can do that and to a certain extent, but oh, absolutely, man, that'd be a beautiful thing to do, to get into an event, watch these 3 people play. Fucking hey guys, it's master class with Mejash or some shit over here, and we can give you little pointers, man. I'd love to be involved in that.
yeah. Like what Kevro that says, like most of the time I don't think they know why they did it either, but
Yeah,
in their head though they're still doing the best thing that they could do,
right.
right? They may not know why, but in their head, and I would love to hear out loud why they thought that,
Yeah,
because if you just go like that, I mean it's like just dealing with a kid, right? Like
yeah.
I don't know, it's just that's what I thought I should do. If you can just teach somebody once, that'll probably fix the mistake because they just don't know why it's a bad move or don't know why it's you know, whatever. That's like the psych. I wouldn't say the psych. Is it the psychology of it? Like I would love to know like why people do stuff.
I wouldn't even say psychology. I would just say, well, I don't know. Is it the psychology of the play?
Yeah, I don't
I
know
mean,
if
like
it
if you're
is.
talking specifically about the play, I'm just
I'm a
okay.
comm major, man. Leave me alone. I don't know what these words are.
What is your mental state? And that's something that I've always. Let's put you in a basic mental state, and we can teach you the basics. I know, Josh, you can teach people basics faster than I can, but I can't teach you situations
Yeah.
because there's so many what ifs out there. And my idea of education is to give them the basics and then let them make their own decisions, and then
Yep.
also give them an analysis. You have to be able to analyze your games to get better at the end. Okay, well, I went here. What was around me? Pay attention to mini map. See what was around you. I went around this corner. There was 4 dudes there. Okay, well, were they spotted? Well, 3 of them were. Okay, then why'd you go out there?
Yep.
Well, I thought I was going to be able to get to this next island. Okay, that's fine. You thought you were everybody, and it didn't work out. So now next time, what's going to happen? What are you going to try to do? Well, if I see that, maybe I'll just hit my smoke here early, and try to drop torps on them, and try to dissuade them from coming around. There's a lot of analysis that I do. I do it myself all the time on the show. Oh well, what the fuck? That was a dumb move, Venom. Why'd you do that? I should have done this instead. And I know you do the same thing to yourself.
Yeah.
Maybe not as harsh as I am on myself, but
I think that's one of the biggest things that people mess up, and it's not breaking down like what people are doing or what they did wrong. It's just and that's why I think the majority of players in this game as soon as they die, they hit exit and they escape battle and they go on to the next one. So there's not really a learning process there.
Right.
That is something that if I fuck up, I'll say, what did I do wrong? I should have done this. Probably could have done that. I think that's how you get better in this game. But I feel like there's not a lot of people do that. I feel like
I think there's.
I would love to kind of get behind making people. I don't know, make people do that, letting people do that.
Encouraging them is all you can do because
Yeah.
they're going to do it on their own or they're not. There's no two ways about it. I think that there's something else that we didn't touch on is and I just lost it. I hate that when you have something really nice to say and then you don't, and then you have,
And you really
then
you really lined it up well with giving
Yeah.
me any kind of info to help you think of it again. too.
yeah. Fuck, I don't even
This-
remember.
This
were
thing we
talking
didn't
about-
think we didn't talk about, but dang it, I forgot what it
Oh,
was.
yes.
All right.
And now I remember. It's something that I've said in the past, and something that I've kind of applied to myself when I was growing up. I was a bowler. All right, I fucking love bowling. I was decent, you know. And for me to get better at bowling, I had to bowl with people that were better than me.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And I think that playing against people that are better than you, for somebody who has a competition in mind or somebody has that drive to get better, they will learn from their mistakes and they will learn from getting shit on. And it's okay to fail. It's okay to be bad at this game as long as you're willing to work at it and understand that you really got to pay attention to that. Dude, I tell you what, man, my win rate went through the roof after I started paying attention to that fucking mini map. Last known positions on the board, names on
Yep.
the mini map, and then pay and listen to the call outs if you're playing in a division. Just okay, there's a DD over here. I tell you so many times, and I'm not knocking anybody that plays with me, but so many times, hey, there's a DD over here. Like 5 minutes, hey, there's a DD over here. I was like, I fucking said that. Watch out for this
Yeah.
guy. He's going to be dropping torps over there. Holy shit, where'd these torps come from? I'm like,
Yep.
you gotta pay attention, man. I'm not knocking any of the guys at all, but that's just some of the some of the steps that you have to move forward with to get better.
100%.
You know, paying
It's
attention,
it's
listening,
not
reacting.
looking at the big picture. It's looking at just what just happened.
Yeah.
But yeah, you need a WoW Classic, dude. You need to play an easy class.
Easy
All right.
class. I don't want to play.
You need to play-
Anybody can play a paladin. I mean, jeez.
Well, you can go Alliance. Are you gonna go Horde? What are you gonna do?
I don't know,
There's
most of the
a lot
guys-
decisions to make.
Most of the guys that I'm talking about, I'm for the Alliance, and these guys are like, I'm for the Horde, and I'm like, I don't really care. Is there like a middle ground here that I can play the fence so I can just be? I'm for the average.
No way, man. The average were the pandas, and we all fucking hate that
So
expansion.
play the panda. Huh?
No, panda mop is terrible. No. You want to look at challenge, man? I would get the challenge is the game itself. You want it as easy of a ride as possible through a game that will be pretty tough, especially if you really haven't played it.
I've never played.
I would highly recommend Hunter, because it's kind of easy. Hunter, Warlock would be easy.
Now, mind
easier
you, I
or
have no
cheap.
desire to play PvP in this game.
Yeah, just roll on a PvE server. Fuck
Yeah,
PvP. right now.
exactly. I have no desire to play any kind of PvP action because you, me, Jace. Well, I have the time that I can put in to do it, but there's going to be people that have no life and they have all the best gear day 2, and they just roll over, and it's just not fun to roll over.
Well,
It's
it
not
won't
much
be
of a
quite
challenge.
day 2,
But you know
there
what I
might be
mean. You
people higher level.
you get the picture. And so I'm thinking my last character was a female dwarf paladin.
Mm-hmm.
And that was okay. I didn't know what the fuck I was doing, but it was fun, I guess. And then we started up a gnome something. Yeah, some kind of gnome. So I don't know. I don't know what we'll do.
I would. I'm interested to see how you play it because going.
I've been accused. I did stream it for a couple of hours years and years ago, and I got accused of being a clicker, whatever the fuck that is. And
Oh
and and they
no,
were like,
Venom!
you're a fucking clicker, and I'm like, okay, well, I don't no idea what the fuck you're talking about.
Oh my God,
So your
Journey
troll,
Conqueror main
your troll
clicker.
here is just non-existent, and I really don't care. And I'm gonna click all these things on the little
Next thing
fucking
you're gonna tell me is you're a scroll zoomer too. I mean, come on.
scrolls. Wait, oh no, man, I have so many problems watching people that scroll zoom because I'm
Yeah,
just like, oh my god, you're wasting so much time.
that's like one of the requirements for our replays is no CVs because CVs and replays are basically broken. They don't really work that well.
Right.
And if people are scroll zoomers, that's the other rule because it's so because of how kind of just shitty the replays are.
Yeah.
It completely fucks it up. So it's really hard to watch if you're a scroll zoomer.
What is keyboard turn?
That'd be like using I guess like because I always remap my move to Wazda, but it'd be using I think A and D to turn. I forgot if it's A and D or Q and W. To turn your character instead of just your mouse. I forget what it is standard for a while, but I always remap my my keys to just WASD.
I don't know, man. I never.
I think
really,
it's Q and E to turn.
I never really
That's
got
what
into the MMO genre. I was more of a kind of a simple action MMO, action RPGs. That was more my style because it was easy to get. It was easy to you just click and move.
Mm-hmm.
Standard
No,
WSD arrow keys.
I'm interested. Yeah, because there's like normal like I think it's QWES is like forward, backwards, and then left, right. But I think I remap it to WASD so I can open up Q and E. But it'd be like using I think A and D to turn, like just turn your character instead of just you can use your mouse. But I'm interested to see how you play, man, because it's if you played just a few years ago, you said. So did you ever really play vanilla?
No, I played
Okay.
vanilla. I played vanilla at like level 10, something like
Yeah,
that.
buddy.
And then I went and got the Burning Crusade expansion when it came out.
Yep.
And I got it and I loaded up and it would not run on my computer. So I uninstalled everything, reinstalled the regular, and then my regular wouldn't work either. So I was like, fuck it, I don't care anymore. And by the time that I got a computer that could actually run it good, the hype was already it was still there, but I was just like, I don't know anybody anymore, so fuck them. So I just
So
never
basically, you never play it. Well, I'll be playing it on launch. I'm probably gonna roll horde though, but
I don't. Do you guys have a server decided? I mean, I'm
oh,
sure
they haven't announced how they're doing servers yet, but I'm interested to see.
I was sitting here talking about it. There were some quality of life changes. You know, you don't want to sit there with the 40-man raids. We need a goddamn tank, and you sit there for 6 hours waiting for a fucking tank. So if they have the dungeon queues like they do now,
Don't you say that? No, they're not going to be in the game though.
are they?
Damn. No, they're not.
I don't know.
No, it's gonna be pretty. I think there's a couple small quality of life things they're doing, but other than that, it's gonna be pretty much vanilla. So it's gonna be pretty intense for people, especially who haven't played it. So, but yeah, I'll be interested to see how you play it. I'll be lurking when I'm not streaming or whatever if you're playing it, and I'll probably be playing it in the background. So it'll be funny.
Oh man, that's funny. I'm interested to play it. I'll be honest with you. I'm interested in playing. I'm not totally excited about playing it, but it's like people have been bombarding me with this for the last 10 fucking years. Oh, you never played WoWs? I'm like, fucking never cared enough to play WoWs, you know. So
well, that's what I was hoping to do because like not making a guild to level because I don't know what everyone's going to be doing. I'm going to play on a PvE server while I'm leveling up just to not have any kind of chance of somebody just streams blah blah blah. Not that I'm anybody for World of Warcraft by any means, but just to not have that be a thing. But like for a leveling guild, I think I want to. That's what I was talking to some of the guys in the NACC Discord. But seeing if people like wanted to play, they wanted to like at least have a leveling guild because that's the annoying part, right? Getting like 5-mans. So if everyone wanted to roll on the same server, but if you have alliance guys, I just don't think people I'm playing with are gonna be rolling alliance. So
I don't know.
Horde's just so good.
Don't really care. I mean, it's like, hey, we're all over here on the Horde. Fine, I'll make a fucking whatever. I'll make an undead guy or something. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
You know, I really like the undead guys. I don't know why. I just find them. I don't give a shit about no fucking trolls. I don't want to be no goddamn cow man, because fuck them. Those things are ugly as shit.
I'm gonna be a cow man.
You're gonna be a cow man,
dude. I'm gonna be a cow man warrior.
Cowman warrior.
Yeah, buddy.
Jesus Christ, man. Only thing I can think of when I see those guys is the Cowboys
sucks.
of Moo Mesa, a fucking cartoon back in the day where they're all cows.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'll be rolling Tauren Warrior, and I'll be getting my Thunder Fury and Tier 3 set and be looking like a goddamn badass.
Fucking Thunder Furies, man. Thunder Furies in Diablo 3, by the way.
Yeah. You can. They're way more epic and wow.
Kind of sucks though. Kind of sucks.
Yeah, it's not very good.
It's an old school weapon. I'm still a Demon Hunter at heart there, so.
Well, I think Demon Hunter is just like the easiest to level up, you know, just in general. I just found it so easy.
There's no such thing as fucking leveling up in that thing. What you do is you go in there, hey guys,
you can speed run.
Hey guys, I need help leveling. Boom, level 70 in 5 minutes. Fuck you.
Yeah.
You know, I remember grinding out the first 3 seasons of fucking Diablo 3, man, and then I quit playing, and then I came back for 6 and 7, and then I just stopped altogether and uninstalled it. Took us 4 hours to level up to 70 at base, and then all right, we're gonna do us some speed. You can go ahead. We're done. We're gonna do us some speed runs here. Like literally, guy, 5 minutes, dude. Just sit at the fucking waypoint and just all right. Okay, now come portal to me.
TP to me.
TP to me. Come portal TP to me, dude.
Yeah.
Fuck, man, it don't take any time to fucking level up in that shit.
At least yellow gear.
Yeah. Dude, I remember when yellow gear was actually legit, bro. That's how old school I am, man.
Well, yeah, there was some yellow gear that was even like better than some of the set stuff.
Which is fine.
Yeah, it was cool back then. Now it's just like, okay, you have to get the set. Now you're just trying to roll the best.
God, this is going to start a big old can of worms for me. But I think the biggest problem.
I'll get us back on World of Warcraft if needed.
That's fine. My biggest problem with Diablo 3 is that in Diablo 2, if you wanted to roll up say an orb sorceress or whatever, you would grind out. You'd get towels at level 60, and that was a good starting in-game thing for you. You know, and anything that you put with towels worked because it enhanced the actual skill instead of what the set pieces are now. They are the builds, which limits everything so much that there's no uniqueness anymore in between your build, your Demon Hunter, and my Demon Hunter. Everybody's running the same fucking shit, and there's no build variety, which I think that they should have taken all of those off of the set pieces and left it the way it was. It would have made it more enjoyable for people in the long run.
Yeah,
it became more of a casual game.
Yeah, well, it became like, okay, get this. Well, that's the same thing. Like I always make the joke. Like I like playing Diablo 3 for about a week every 6 months.
Right.
Because you play, you do the new season, and you get the gear, and then you get some pretty good gear, and then you're like, okay, I don't want to try again ancient. So you play it maybe 6, 8, but you play it once a year for about 4 or 5 days. You get your gear, and then you like, okay, I want to try this character. Okay, he's geared up instantly. Okay, I want to try this character. He's geared up instantly. You're like, okay, I'm good. I'll see you next year.
Yeah, I have no desire. It coming from me, who did it as much as I do World of Warships, you know, for a year, 200 hours a fucking month plus. You know, it fucking wears on my soul, man. I just can't do it anymore. I have so much animosity toward that game right now just because of how much I enjoyed it before and saw what they threw it into the fucking shitter.
So that's why I'm interested to see how you're going to do with WoW, because
there's a lot to learn. There's a lot to learn.
It's a lot to learn. It's a lot of play to get max level. So.
And as long as I'm learning something, I'm gonna have some fun. There's gonna be times where I'm just flat out bored. Okay, I gotta get 10 of these motherfuckers. All right, whatever. Well, that motherfucker took it. How come I didn't get credit for that shit? You know, that's gonna be frustrating as shit. But I'm gonna go kill fucking sheep for fucking 6 months and then go kill that level 70 guy.
Yeah. Well, that'll be the funny part to watch. You kind of. To see if you can survive, because it's gonna be gnarly. Like a fast leveling in that game is like, I would consider like 5 days. Like the world record was 4 days and 20 hours of in-game time. So that's that's
That's a long
almost
time.
it's 9 days. So, well, above the 12-hour days basically.
Well,
So
I don't give a shit about leveling up fast. I just want to enjoy
yeah,
myself as I'm doing it because this will be a lot of. I think there's one good thing and one bad thing about this vanilla's coming out. The people that really have the nostalgia for it are just going to burn right through it. They're going to burn
mhm.
right through all the levels. They're going to skip all the bullshit. But me, just experiencing it for the first time, I'm going to be like slow, and I'm going to be pissing people off that are playing with me. They're going to be like, "Come on, man, you don't need to read that shit." I'm like, "Okay," and I end up missing a lot of it. So I'm like, "Okay, well, give me the fucking story. What the fuck is going on?" And
Well, that's the best part
and I
is there's
think
lots of story.
yeah, and I think that Path of Exile struggles in that too because it's all optional story mode. So I have like,
Yeah.
do you really know what's going on in Path of Exile? I mean, I know tidbits, and I played that shit for over a year, and I barely know the story at all. And I think they should force some of the story onto you a little bit deeper. But
Like that's kind of the big disconnect of like current WoW and compared to old WoW. Like old WoW is it's all lore. You figure out what's going on. Then you find out that this boss was like hiding under your nose the whole time. You kind of bust through all that. That's like the really cool part is it feels like a whole world and it's not really fast to get through like the new WoW is. You go here, it tells you where to go, it tells you where to find these things, it tells you how many to get that, then you're done.
right,
It's just like everything's in text. It doesn't tell you what exactly to do. It doesn't tell you where exactly to go. So it's kind of like this. It's a true like MMO.
it's a true adventure,
Yeah,
and
it's
yeah,
especially if it's your first time. Like
yeah,
I wish I could experience that again, which
yeah.
I kind of will because I did play vanilla, but not really. So I'll be experiencing it really for the first time.
Yeah. Well, you guys, hopefully you guys out there that have never experienced it before, maybe you guys or have experienced it and want to relive it through somebody else's eyes. Isn't that what life is through your kids, though? You just
Yeah,
reliving
there you
life
go.
through
My
their eyes
dog
and seeing what they do.
plays
So
it.
you guys can come in and relive it through my life. I guarantee you, there's going to be 10 people watching this shit. So I don't know.
See, that's why I'm not gonna worry about it, dude, because that
Yeah.
is gonna be purely relaxing. There's gonna be WoW parts of the stream, and then there's gonna be WoW's parts of the stream, and I'm excited. I'm so pumped.
Yeah. I'm excited about the prospect of playing something other than chips for a while. I think
Hmm.
it'd be great. I think it'll be great, man. Yo, you into some more Grand Theft Auto, bro?
That,
I
because
know your feelings.
I know I loved it. I love playing GTA RP. We should talk about something in Warship quick, so it's considered. You can stay in the Warships topic, so you don't
Yeah.
get alerted.
Ships
Um,
are pew pew ships. Done.
there's lots of stuff to do. French destroyers,
Yeah.
but anyways,
Take my
but yeah,
code
GTA.
invite. My invite
Yeah,
code.
use my referral link. Use my referral link. Use mine though, and then use Venom's after if it
That's right.
works. Um, but like GTA RP, like we've kind of started to make this Simon character.
Hmm.
So on like my stream, and so like I made this account. I named it something stupid, and we kind of made this character where we do like quote unquote RP rank bad. I
Okay.
think you were hanging out for some of that, yeah.
A little bit.
And we don't really know what we're doing. We just kind of listen to everybody. We say shoot in chat, and we say gosh darn it, and we say oh frick, and then we point out the super obvious stuff like hey guys be careful, like when like a DD saying radar's up, and like I'll be like oh careful the DM has radar, that kind of thing. And so like
Simply
I'll do the
Simon.
most obvious thing, or like
Yeah.
the dead, and you go, oh, where's the DD? And then everyone goes, oh, he's dead, you stupid.
Oh,
That's really
okay.
fun.
Well, I was just
And
asking because I got accepted into the Twitch RP server whitelist,
ooh, there you go.
and I haven't played it since I came back to ships, in May. So
There,
there goes
I
my
did.
camera.
Hey, but no, we did that. We did that Sims last night, and we made the character Simon, and that was actually a lot of fun. We did like a whole thing about how he worked at Wargaming and what kind of decisions would he make, and like girls came and like knocked at his door to say hi, and he was like too busy like coding and stuff, and it was actually a lot of fun.
I need to get this
But,
boat done.
yeah,
No.
I'm working on a 2.9 premium. Leave me alone.
Yeah.
So,
I,
but it was actually a lot of fun. Frog Ranger, yeah.
The Friesland Tier 9 DD, we didn't talk about much on the podcast today because we talked about it last week a little bit. But uh, I will use this till the day I die or till the day I stop playing fucking World of Warships. But Senpai typing in there, getting bitched at. Oh, that DD needs to be nerfed. It's carriers bitching at him. He goes, just dodge.
Yeah.
That shit
Yep.
just makes me laugh so hard.
I love that it just tears up planes. I love it.
That one game that we played, I had 56 planes or some shit shot
Yeah.
down. He just kept throwing them at me, and I just stepped behind the island. Okay.
Yep.
I actually had 57 planes shot down in an Izumo last night, boy. Let me tell you.
Well, they're dirty feeders.
Mm-hmm.
What are they feeding all those planes for?
I don't know, but I had fucking 2,600 base in a fucking Izumo.
Oh yeah, dude.
It was
we had a couple big games in the Freddy too. Going through the Freddy was actually a lot of fun. What was I gonna say though? The blah 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 blah. Oh, the RP stuff. Yeah, like I love doing RP. I love improv.
I love
as
improv,
like a person. I love doing like improvisation.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things I loved about the RP stuff. It was fun for me to do. But I mean, it's not for my channel. It wasn't the best thing to do, but I know you were pulling some okay numbers when you were doing it, right?
Yeah, we had some decent numbers doing it.
Yeah.
It just a matter of depending on who I wanted to play, and it's so hard. Like I did a fucking blind guy.
Mm-hmm.
My guy was blind, and some guy. I was like, hey, I'm trying to figure out how to get around town. Do you know anybody? And it's like, well, you can go buy you a car. And I was like, you really want to let me buy a car? And he's like, yeah, sure, come on, jump in, and I'll take you down to the car. Dude literally buys me a car, right, as a blind guy, and then tries to teach me how to fucking drive, dude. It's fucking great. Then I got arrested for driving while blind. I was like, well, that's racism, man. You know, just stupid shit like that. And it was hilarious because that was a character that solely relies on interaction with somebody else, because I would just sit there, literally walk out in the middle of the street. Hey, what are you doing walking out in the middle of the street? Am I in the middle of the street? I'm sorry, I didn't know that. He was like, why, can't you see the fucking crosswalk? No, I'm fucking blind. What do you think this is, a goddamn joke, you know? Yeah, and it was so much fun, but most of the majority of the time it was people trying to get away from me. They didn't want to have to fucking deal with it. So it took a lot of real special things to real special people to be able to interact with that character. And there wasn't, on the server that I was playing on, there was maybe one or two people that would actually be able to interact with them.
Yeah, but that Twitch RP one is that's a pretty big server though.
Yeah, it's a 264 block servers from what I understand, or maybe more. I don't know. I have yet to fucking log into it, but that's a thing. But I based a character off of your character though.
Real the off of Simon?
No, off of Chaz.
Oh yeah.
Fuck,
it's just a fun character too, though.
He was fucking Steven Dubinsky, bro.
Yeah,
it's fucking amazing. You want to go to Denny's, get some fries, huh?
Yeah.
Show me your tits, lady. And then he kind of morphed one day into a live streamer.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, and I had I had to fucking, hey, what's going on, lady? Touch her tits, man. Oh my God, and I had I have an app on my phone that does text to speech or whatever, and I would just type shit in there and then cue it up, and that shit was funny, man.
Bringing back Chaz. Chaz died, fail safe. He died in a plane crash. He ran into Vinny's plane. We all know that. We all know how they died. So it was good while it lasted.
Yeah. It was like he was so mad. My dad took my car away, bro. He's such a dick. Just a fucking people like I had one guy come in here. I fucking hate this character. I'm like, good, because I'm gonna keep doing it. Because it was like one of the funnest things to do, just be a shitbag, just be an asshole. Man, it was a lot of fun doing those, man. I really like the RP, making up stories.
It's a lot of fun.
Shit.
It's big. It's the stats on GTA RP for Twitch in general are just huge.
Yeah, they're monsters.
I think it's third highest for watch time on Twitch right now. GTRP.
I know when I was doing it, when I was getting in there and watching, I'd start watching fucking Moon, man. That guy was fucking great. Then he took young Dab and ended up going to jail for life, and then he's off doing his own thing again now. But
Yeah.
getting to know some of these streamers and characters has been like, man, it's just so amazing what the people can do and how they react to people. And I don't know if you know who Milton Pike is. Milton, yeah, fucking Kiki Chanel. Holy shit, is that character one
Yeah.
of the best, stupidest fucking things that you've ever seen, man. But
Yeah.
go Huskies.
It's fun.
So
That's
much,
funny.
So much good things.
Well, get ready, dude. Just over a month until Classic.
Just over a
RP's
month.
fun and all, but that's August 27th. Better be ready.
Can I buy it yet?
Well, you just have all you need is a. It's not gonna have a purchase price. You just need a current WoW subscription. And then you
so
can just
$15
download it.
and then I can download it.
Yeah.
All right, well that's fine. I can do that. Yeah, and
Yep.
2 months, man. We're gonna be taking a picture again, man.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah,
I'm trying to turn into Fit Jash by then.
Fit Jash? Oh man,
Dude, I'm
have to
doing
do-
this.
I did.
We have a whole
man.
thing in my Discord. It's called Jash's Fat Camp. We have a whole bunch of people in my Discord, dude. We're all getting healthy and stuff.
Ladies and gentlemen,
People
we have a new
quit smoking.
emoticon coming in for me, Jash. It's called the JFC, Jash Fat
Yep.
Camp.
Fat, dude, Fat Jack. So we're trying to get less fat and then more unfat before TwitchCon.
I can't wait.
And if
for
I
TwitchCon
don't
this
reach a
year.
goal, if I don't reach a goal, I have to do a RimWorld stream.
What the fuck is Rim? I don't even know what that is. So
Some fucking terrible game that Pokey keeps poking a doll drill. Keep asking me to play. Game's fucking terrible.
I never played it, never heard of it. Actually, I've heard of it, but I don't know anything about it. So having never heard about it, I can tell you everything about it.
Yeah, there you go.
That's right,
Good.
guys. Counterclockwise into that epicenter motion. Yo, let's talk about a map real quick. Did you see what they
All
did
right.
to fucking shards, dude? With
The shards now high tier, right? That's the one they switched to high tier.
I don't know. They changed it up to where they opened up B a little bit more. Now there's islands on either side of B. I just really don't like what they did to that map. Number one. Number two, people are still fucking morons on that board, and they go to fucking A when they spawn up at Charlie.
But no, that's okay. That's the one that was mid tier and is now
Yeah.
high tier, right?
Right.
Yeah. It's a fucking terrible high map, and people are still learning how to play it, which sucks. It's my least favorite map to play, 100%.
There's a few of them that I don't like, and mainly the ones when I start to play the lower tier cruisers or that mid tier cruisers with really shitty fucking range. I inevitably get neighbors, and inevitably get Tears of the fucking Desert bottom tier. Atlanta on Tears of the Desert. Fuck you, man. Thanks game.
Yeah.
And it just it's a fucking struggle for maps, and I don't know, man.
You have the distaste. I don't really mind Tears of the Desert that much.
Well-
I really don't. I mean, obviously, if you get into like an Atlanta, it's gonna suck.
Yeah.
But
Islands of Ice still sucks dick. Yeah.
dude, can you see this fucking divot my dog puts into my bed? Can
Oh,
you
yeah,
see
man.
that dip right there, dude?
It just
Look at
wear
that.
out for you, man.
Dude, look at that's like right where my back goes. That's why I'm sleeping so shitty. Look, like he's like a foot down in that right now. Like, look at that divot.
I think my biggest problem with Tears of the Desert is the Mogami, because back when I was playing through the Mogami, it took me 109 games just to get out of the Mogami, dude. That's how many games it took me to get out of it.
109.
Yep. Let me explain why.
That was a long time ago then. Yeah.
15.7 kilometers on old Tears of the Desert. Old Tears of the Desert. And it was wide open, and it was a fucking cocksucker pain in the ass to try to hit anything, because you had to get so fucking close, and as soon as you would get close, they would just fucking shit on you. And it, like, you could dodge, duck, dip, dive, and dodge all you wanted to, but I struggled with that boat so much on that map. And so I was bottom tier 10 most of the time. 70% of that tier 10 time I was on fucking Tears of the Desert. I would get Tears of the Desert every other fucking game. And then the games that weren't on there, you know, Islands of Fire or what's like that, I played really well. It just that
Yeah.
map just fucking screwed me up with short range cruisers. Because you couldn't there it was so big and all the islands were so far apart from each other, you really couldn't sit on any of the islands and hump over, so you had to play the open water, and I wasn't really good at open water there back
Yeah.
then.
Actually, the Mogami is for the road to tier 10 stuff. Mogami is up there with one of the ships I had the most fun with going back through it. That's why I love doing this YouTube series too.
During that last 24-hour stream, somebody was like, all right, we'll just take requests from, you know, for a little while, and they were like, okay, here's $5, take the Mogami with the 203s and no concealment. And I was like, wow, you guys are really going to do this to me? And I fucking launched 130,000 damage. I was like, holy shit, nobody plays the fucking 203s, man. These things are nasty.
I hate. That's one thing we found out is the 155s, even with the inertia fuse, are still better.
Yeah.
But the 203s can slap, man. Overall, the ship slap.
I was so surprised when I was getting 6,000 and 7,000 damage volleys on the sides of things. I was like, what the fuck? Where the hell has this boat been all my life?
Yeah.
And it just makes me wonder what the Ibuki is again, because I played through the Ibuki. The Mogami was the first tier 8 boat that I got, and out of all the cruisers, other than the ones that came out afterwards, but the Zhao was the last tier 10 cruiser that I got because I just struggled so much on the Mogami.
Just gave up. That's old school for me.
I went and fucking played something else. I was like, I was not having fun on it, so I went and played something else and was what I was having fun on.
Yeah, for me, I ground through when open beta or when open started. So when closed, I had like the Montana. I was like, I love the USM battleships, and then I did with a mod a long time ago. We had this thing. It was like basically like race to tier 10 in a way. He was going to go IGN. He was going to go IGN battleships. I was going to go US. And so I played through. And if you didn't play that far back then, right? You played open, but it was way after, right?
I never played open at all. I couldn't get into open beta.
Okay, yeah.
So I
you
played
couldn't get an open beta.
About 3 years ago, and I think the German cruisers were out. And the first thing that came out after I started playing was the German battleships. That was the first thing.
Okay, yeah. Out. But like I was going through, and then the closed beta, open beta Colorado was one of the worst experiences I've ever had in this game.
I heard a lot of people still have animosity toward that boat, but it's really nasty.
So I was going up, right? Matchmaking was +/-3, so you're in New York playing against the Tagos, and you're going through blah blah blah. And so I got through the Colorado, hated life, unlocked the North Carolina, bought it, stopped playing battleships altogether.
Oh wow.
100% stopped playing battleships altogether, and so that's when I changed up and started playing with viewers more. And then it basically became like a cruiser main at that point, and then eventually turned into a destroyer main after that. But I was a cruiser main for a long, consider cruiser main.
Yeah, I don't. I still to this day, after 3 years, don't consider myself a main on anything. I
would consider myself a DD main for sure, but
I mean, like when it comes to rank, probably DD main, because I just want to have that control over the game more. You know, oh, we need points. Okay, I'm gonna abandon whatever's going on over here. We're gonna need those points now. I'm gonna go get that cap and pray. So that's kind of where my game is shifted for rank season. All because of my man Silly Putty. He said that first rank season, he's like, dude, get out of them fucking battleships and play that fucking Benson. And I was like, okay. So I started playing. This is before the Lo Yang got its hydro buff. So, and the Fubuki was still at tier 8, which was nasty at tier 8.
Yep.
So good. And finally finished ranking out on that, and that was a lot of fun. So pretty much every season I rank out on DDs except for this last one, which was Dirty Comp player.
Yep. I would. I don't know. I like being able to control it. Like going from like a battleship to like a DD. You just have so much control over the game, and it's like relaxing because you'll go in and kind of just get shit on. And then you go play DD, and it's just like, oh, this feels so much better. It feels so much more relaxing. You don't really have to like worry about too much other stuff. So I don't know. Being able to control a game is just so much more relaxing.
Well, it's less pressure. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, it's pressure on you, but it's less that you have to rely on a fucking Falco clan or TNG clan or some of these stupid fucking players that are out there. Not necessarily those particular clans, but just the people that are dumb. That's less that you have to rely on them.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
I'm all for taking as much pressure off the rest of the team and putting it on myself because majority of the time you can handle it.
You at least know, like, that's especially in ranked battles. You at least know you have one decent destroyer player
Yeah.
instead of just the gamble of losing them all instantly.
Yeah.
That's by far the worst part.
I mean, you can have shitty battleships and do fine. You can have shitty cruisers and do fine. But if you have shitty DDs, you're fucked.
Yeah, it's just over from the start.
Yep, you're fucked. I think
Yeah.
Friesland for this, man. I don't think the Friesland's going to be out for the rank season. But man, if it is, holy shit, that thing's going to be nasty.
It's gonna be Benham City, dude.
Oh yeah.
I'll still be using the Jutland, but it's gonna be Benham City for days. Everyone's gonna be shitting out torps.
In the end, man, play what you're comfortable with. But
Yeah.
I'm 46ing it up, man. I just
There
played
you
that.
go.
I just played that thing too. That those seasons, man. Those seasons where at the beginning of the seasons where you're 100 fucking games in already and you're still struggling to find a boat to pick. That pick of the 46, man. Just fucking play the 46, man. Get off this other shit. You're not comfortable with it. Play that 46. You fucking monster in that thing. Okay.
Well, that's what I always say, dude. I'm just like, pick a ship, whatever you like to play, and play that ship. Don't bounce around, because the more you bounce around, especially going from like something to like the Kitakaze you were doing, if you do that, you just get so unfamiliar with just the simple movements of the ship,
Yeah.
and then you're just gonna be playing at such a disadvantage at that point.
Yeah.
The whole key is finding a ship you enjoy to play, and then just playing that well.
Yeah. I was listening to Static last night or this morning, and I kind of disagreed with something that he said. And he was saying something along the lines of, "Why would you play a 46 when you have heals on the Jutland?" I'm like, because 5 kilometer hydro, that gives you more opportunity for your team to shoot and kill that guy before he can get all those heals to make him available. And he's like, "Yeah, it's not gonna. You might as well just play the Jutland." I'm like, "Whatever, dude. I mean, you play what you want to. I mean, obviously everybody has their own opinion about everything, so." In the end, it's play whatever you want.
Jutland's the better of the two ships. It's not even
absolutely.
Close, but
Jutland's still hands down.
If you don't enjoy one of the ships, though, then why play it? You're gonna hate it, and you're not gonna like feel comfortable playing it.
It's not even the fact that I don't feel comfortable in it. I'm just better. I just play the 46 better than the Jutland, hands down.
Yeah,
just more experience in it, I guess.
Yep, 100%. Yeah, and if you like that play style, and if you play it well, for sure too, you can pump out a lot of damage and be quite effective. It's not the strongest, but it's definitely a stronger ship to pick at that tier for sure.
Oh yeah, in the end, you're gonna see every fucking thing in the book. God, I can't wait to see these goddamn Georgias rolling straight up into the fucking caps this season. It's gonna be a fucking it's gonna be a mess.
They're gonna get so shit on. Yeah. They're gonna get so shit on.
I honestly, I'd rather have a Freddy. I'd rather have a Freddy out there on my team
at that point.
Georgia.
Yeah,
I'll be like, okay, fine. You want to come in there and do this? Let's do this. Bam, and then because the Georgia just doesn't tank, just absorbs damage, and then it's just gone.
It's gonna be Musashi's gonna be licking their lips when they see a Georgia. I mean, the Georgia's nasty up close, right? But I mean, it has to get there, it has to get within that range, and the Jean Bart's gonna be able to just burn it down, and kind of be able to punish the ship itself. Musashi's, Iowa's, I mean, everything's just kind of going to be able to tank a bit more than it can. So
13 kilometers versus the Georgia. I think I'm going to take the John Bart over that any day.
Yeah.
Eventually the Georgia will catch up to it, but it'll take it a while to get there.
Yep. I mean, I don't know. It'll be interesting to see what everyone kind of plays. Like, I have my idea what's strong, and again,
you guys
I'll
can
pump
find
out a
that
video
on his YouTube video. Guys, he'll be a YouTube channel, Mejash. Is it youtube.com/Mejash?
Yep.
Right,
yeah, we got that.
He'll have his video. I'm going to do my video too. I was sitting there thinking about it today, and I was like, I pumped out 4 of these real fast. Somebody in the chat had an idea for quick reviews. Just I show my fucking modules and my captain skills, and just give a little blurb about play style or whatever, my opinion on it in like 1.5 minute video.
Yeah.
And I've been pumping out. I pumped out 7 of them in like 3 days, and
Hmm.
it did 4 today. And because I mean, it don't take much to do them, and I'm thinking that's what I'm gonna do with the with the rank season. I do it every season anyway, so
Yeah. That's actually no joke. That's actually an idea I've talked about with Poke before about doing along with my normal like reviews of ships, doing very quick ones because
yeah,
there's a lot of people that just don't care. They just want to know the information.
yeah,
Is it good? Is it bad? What's the strengths? What's its weaknesses? What do you use on it? Okay, I'm
yeah,
done. And so that it's a good thing. I think people are gonna want that instant information on that
yeah.
kind of
And
stuff.
I'm still trying to figure out exactly what information to put into that.
Yeah.
All right, guns. How are the guns? Guns are fine. Hit the broadside. If you're angled on any, you got it. Blah blah blah. You know how it goes. And they're
Hmm.
15 inches, so if they suck, blah blah blah. Uh, I was kind of surprised here. Speaking of 15 inches, the fucking Siegfried got a fucking nerf, man. And they basically have turned this into a Gneisenau at fucking tier 9.
Yeah, I haven't played the ship. I still haven't played it. Because I
Well, it's
was going to
gone
play it,
from
working on other
port now,
stuff,
so.
and then it got its changes, where it's got the less heals, shorter torps, and so people are like, oh, well, it's basically the same ship. Well, it's like, well, if you lose a heal, it's a lot of survivability.
I
So
didn't even
I'm
think that it
waiting.
was all that tanky.
Yeah, it is true. I can provide screenshots. He's not stealing ideas. No, this is actually an idea we thought about, but I
Yeah.
mean, there's only so many ideas. Uh, but no, I mean it. I haven't played it yet though, so it looks pretty dog shit to me. I don't like a lot of the battle cruiser playstyles anyway, and so this one is not a shining star at really anything. So
I'm
I'm
not a
interested
big I'm not a
in
big
dealing with
fan
it.
of it. I do like one aspect of it is they gave it accuracy, and they're actually decently accurate guns at with 15 inches, which is not something that we usually see. Uh,
Yeah,
and I do like that. And when you are broadside, you can really hurt people. It's German, so the HE on it, it sucks,
yeah,
and it doesn't do a whole lot of damage. So I'm like, I'm not really seeing the part. And then the reasoning behind the nerfs, so they said that even though they say that this boat just really is kind of meh, they perform very well in the boat. And I'm like, yeah, I mean, we did 120,000 damage or whatever, but it's like it was so hard to get that 120,000
hmm,
damage. And I'm like, I don't know. Maybe it's actually a balanced fucking boat back then. I don't know, because
yeah. I mean,
if
yeah,
it was that hard, I
maybe.
mean, it's like maybe that's the feeling that I get with like the Minsk. I can't stand that boat because I do have to do so much to make it work, and then when I actually have a decent game, I'm exhausted because I've had to do so much.
Well, that's how it was with like some of those games with Freddy. Is you just bust your ass off, and then you look up and you have like 73,000 damage, and you're
Yeah,
like, oh, come on, you
yeah,
know. Like I feel like I've been doing something. I feel like I've been trying my best all game, and you just because it's just so inconsistent. But
yeah.
yeah, Siegfried's still one I haven't played. I'm kind of holding off on that. The way I'm doing work in progress ships is a little different than how I used to do it. I'm focusing on like a few each day instead of just like, okay, I'm gonna try this. I'm gonna try this one. I'm gonna try this
Yeah.
one. So I try to just focus on like a couple each day, so I can
You
really
know,
get a good on it.
that's something I did. I would take 2 of them and I would play them back to back. So one right after another, and then just go
Yeah,
back and forth to those 2 instead of
yeah,
just, okay, guys, I got this one here. Let's play 5 of these. Okay, now let's play 5 of those, just to get my
yeah.
minimums or whatever before I can, you know, get credit so I can get the next set of boats. But I think this time around, I was going back and forth from the Summers to the Friesland. And there were 2 way different play styles. And
Hmm.
I think playing the Summers helped me play the Friesland. Because Friesland, the Summers is a little bit of a slower play, and you're not
Yeah,
going to
for
be
sure.
up in the deal. And then I put the Friesland through its paces where I would go in there, shit on that DD, but then I would die because I'd just take so much damage trying to get that DD down. I was like, okay, this is a DD. This will be great against other DDs. Now let's play it kind of mid range, passive, support another DD. Let's play it, Udaloy style, and it just, man, that thing's just dirty. Yo, Dort, thanks for the raid, man. Uh,
What up, Dor?
Guys, we're hanging out with my man Mejash here. You guys can catch him over on his channel, twitch.tv/Mejash. I'm probably just going to end up cutting all of this out that we're talking about and just throwing it up there. One big, long ass fucking podcast after all the good information's gone.
There you go.
Uh, uh, just after hours After the
Yeah, right.
podcast goes down, this is what we do.
Post.
And but Friesland, I found that if you sit back and you kind of cater to those CVs, I think this one is the most pure, unadulterated escort ship of the entire game.
The Friesland.
Yep, this is
Yeah,
nothing but a pure escort, and I actually dig the playstyle.
it's it's definitely like a probably one of the most role specific ships we've ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not the biggest fan of kind of this wave of spammy ships
True.
that we kind of have. Like, I don't think that's a good thing, but I like that it's hot. I like that it's unique. It has a unique play style. I like that it has high AA in a DD slot. I'm always a fan of that. I like that it has good guns. I like that it's cool and that. I just don't like that for it to be what it is, it has to do what it can do, and I don't really like that. But it's we'll see how it kind of affects the ecosystem that this game is. But I'm not the biggest fan of like the Colbert Smolensk Friesland that we see. So
I dig the Atlanta playstyle. You know, that's
yeah.
Atlanta's my favorite boat in the game. But I will sit there and agree with everybody 100%. These fucking boats don't need to be in the game.
Hmm.
Smolensk doesn't. You know, maybe you could make a case for it if you take off the smoke. I think if you take off the smoke, that it's better because then it's nonstop movement and it's going to be a very intense playstyle. Colbert is just hump an island. You're just basically playing a war chester at that point.
Yeah. Yep. So I don't know. We'll see what ends up kind of happening
Wait,
with it.
wait.
I guess I don't know.
So Yak says I successfully passed MEPS and I got to pick the job that I will be doing. I will be a CSS. Now explain to everybody what CSS is because I don't remember. And I head to boot camp. Yet there's no passing MEPS.
Congratulations.
The only thing you have to worry about is FBI. They have an FBI. Have you ever done anything? And they look up your background and see if you've done anything. That's it. And
Well, he passed that, right?
yeah.
Apparently,
So
I
there
didn't
you
do
go.
anything.
You're acceptable by the by the fucking FBI, I guess.
Yeah.
Uh, deplaned.
Drug test. He passed
That's
that.
drug test. I guess there's eye tests and shit, colorblind tests. I mean, there's a lot of shit to do at MEPS, but peanut cup. Yep. Do all that. Do all
Passed
that
it.
nonsense. There you go, man. Congratulations. And
GG easy.
if I can pass a background check for clearance, then yeah, whatever. I mean, MEPS was a fucking all day affair for me when I went in. That was a long time ago too. Back 2001, man. What the fuck were you doing in 2001?
What was I doing in 2001?
I was
Graduated
fucking
high school
19
in
years old.
'07. So I was
Man, you're a young guy.
in 6th grade, I guess. So I was just being a whatever kid, man. I was playing water polo.
Yeah,
That's about it. Water polo and getting in lacrosse.
yeah.
And
Lacrosse is pretty cool.
yeah, wait for that. Yeah.
Yeah, I graduated in '99.
Fapping, yeah, a lot of fapping.
A lot of fapping.
Yeah.
They saved the best for last. I was the last class of my, the century. Oh no, you went fucking cook. You went to be a cook. Culinary specialist for submarines. That's crazy, dude. That's crazy, man. Well, congratulations. Did you get what you wanted? I mean, they told me when I went in, we can have a nice mess specialist. MS was what it used to be called. Unless they changed it to this culinary specialist now. I don't know. Fancy name for a janitor, I guess. I'm a custodial engineer. And I was like, nope. I've been in the kitchen for my entire life. Working at fast food restaurants and shit. Long John Silver's and Sonic. I was like, I will never work in a kitchen ever again. Never, ever, never, ever. So it's kind of.
I was a Boy Scout, a Cub Scout once, and I sold a whole bunch of popcorn and got a Swiss Army.
Hell yeah, baby.
Yeah, dude. So I can relate.
Last time I sold popcorn, it was $1 a bag. It was $1 a bag, and I was in the 3rd grade, and me and my sister were both selling popcorn, and the winner would get a bike, and we sold like $500 worth of fucking popcorn bags, and we actually won. But what happened is that we took my sister's and mine together, and I won, and then my dad bought my sister a bike for winning.
Yo, easy peasy,
Hell
man.
yeah, baby.
Yeah.
$500 a bag. And you know what's stupid is that we would go around to the neighborhood. Oh yeah, my kid's selling that too. I was like, well, you want to buy one? It's only $1 a bag. He's like, fuck yeah, here, give me 3. You know, it's like it's $1 a bag. Who cares? You know?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, it's just a fucking dollar. No big deal.
Yep. Yep.
Dump over that
Yep.
couch. Give me them quarters that are under there, man. Some pennies. I'll take everything.
There you go.
There you
But
go.
good. Yeah.
Fun stuff.
Yeah, you gonna play games tonight?
I'll play a little bit. Yeah, I need to get up and go stretch and take a piss. But
Yeah.
but yeah, you gonna play? Are you doing
It's
your-
later
are you-
now, so I
are you
probably
doing
won't
your
tonight
replay?
now.
No, I'm sorry for
Uh,
keeping you, man.
No, it's fine. It's fine. I can just take the rest of the night. Just really focus on getting everything. I can basically just pack tonight then, and get everything ready for the trip. And then I can just do a long stream tomorrow.
Do that
Last
long
stream before we
man.
leave. Yeah.
How long
well,
you- how long
I'll
you
be
gonna be
gone on
gone?
my birthday.
When's your birthday?
The 28th. So
Oh shit, man.
Sunday?
Mine was yesterday.
Yeah, happy birthday,
Oh,
man.
Fuck yeah, man.
There
Thank
you
you very
go.
much, dude. It was a
Yeah,
pretty
you-
good birthday, dude. We busted up two fucking emote slots, dude. To
Oh, nice. Congrats.
To hit that 500 point mark, and then
Oh, nice.
to go from 5 to 600. Holy shit,
There you go.
pretty daunting.
Did
man.
you hit 600?
No. We went from
Oh, okay.
450 to 500.
Nice.
Yeah,
Nice.
It was really awesome, man. Really awesome.
Yeah.
Fucking my face is painted up 4 days in a row.
Yeah, I saw that one crazy night. Could barely even see your face.
Dude, I had to write on my goddamn arm, dude. I had it going from my wrist all the way down to my elbow and shit, man. It was nuts, man. I think that was 170 subs, I think that night came in. It was fucking insane.
Nice,
It was
crazy.
fucking insane, man.
Yeah. No, I'm going to Vancouver.
He's going to
this
Vancouver
weekend.
to join.
Yeah,
the
I'll be
fucking
back
Mounties.
Monday. I'll be back Monday.
He's gonna join the Canadian Navy, which is just like three Mounties in a canoe, followed.
That's
by
right.
others.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All I do is just fly fish.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'll do that. Well, I'll do like a birthday stream when I get back, but
Fuck yeah,
I'll probably
man.
just do like a long.
Hell yeah.
I'm excited though because I really don't have like too much to do while I'm in Vancouver. So I'm gonna try to explore the city a little bit because I get out there on Friday. I gotta do stuff on basically Sunday, and that's it. And then I fly back. So
What are you going up there for?
it's for DreamHack, but War Game is gonna be there, so
Oh, okay.
I'm going on behalf of them. So
Oh,
it'll be kind of cool. Go up there, do a small little thing, and then kind of check out DreamHack. I'll check it out. I don't know what all is even gonna be there. I haven't even looked really into it. So go up there for a day and just chill, and then fly back on Monday early, and then hopefully still do a stream.
Yeah.
And then it's time to grind until TwitchCon, man.
Yeah, it's kind of
What?
where we're at now. It's grind until TwitchCon.
These multiple trips though, dude.
I
Oh,
bet they kill
suck.
that bank account, man.
It's
gets pretty
brutal.
expensive, dude. Oh, it's
No,
not,
no, no,
not
no,
even
it's
about
not
that.
that.
It's the fact that you're just tired all the time.
you just come back and you see that sub count and you go, oh, gee. Christ. 'Cause
Yeah, it's, that's a thing, man.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I came back. The Russia trip, I missed like nine days. It was the longest I'd ever been away from the stream.
Yeah, there were good days, man. Those are good days.
Yeah, it was definitely
For me.
like an experience, and it was right.
They were great
It was
days for me.
definitely. But I got home and saw the sub count, and I was like, oh,
You're like,
jeez,
oh,
Christ,
straight
all
through
right.
the fucking hurt, bro. Straight through the
Yeah,
hurt.
who wants to do a 24-hour stream every day? How about we do that? Do a subathon every day. Got crazy.
Dude, yeah, we just finished up our 52nd 24-hour stream, man.
Yeah, you're nuts, man. I don't think I'd ever do a 24-hour again, but I'll definitely might start doing some more
Some longer ones.
like 12 hours or something like that. Yeah.
They're pretty rough, and I have to like set my body up about 2 weeks. I started,
Mhm.
slowly extending the stream time so I can handle it. But
See, I would rather do like two like back-to-back 12-hour streams than like 124. Because like 24 was always just ruin me, dude, because you're like a zombie for like the last like 5. And then well, you're now used to it. It's just another day for you.
yeah, I'm fucking crazy though, man. Sorry. So the schedule goes like this: we just go on and we stream, and we stream until I'm about to fall asleep. Right,
Mm-hmm.
anywhere between 12 and 16 hours is the limit, the wall or whatever. And then once I start getting tired and I'm doing the little touch and goes or whatever, I stand up and I go in there and I fucking take a goddamn shower. I take 10 minutes to go fucking take a shower, get me some fucking food, and then rehash. And then at 20 hours, I drink a fucking Red Bull because I know at 4 hours after that I'm dead because that Red Bull crashes me really hard.
Yeah, for sure.
So, and doing that, I don't drink coffee because it gives me the shits, and nobody wants that. Uh, drink some water, drink a bunch of water during that. Get up every couple
Oh
hours,
yeah. Super.
stretch, spam the ads every hour.
There you go. Oh, they're having fun.
Hell yeah! I mean, it's a blast. I love doing it, man. And it's so much fun, and they're only good for the show. And like literally, they're only good for the show because you go across every time zone throughout the day. So people that might not have a chance to see you, maybe this time around they will see you. They will come in and see you. Then you got to fight. Then you got to fight the people in the morning. The EU crowd and stuff like that. And you pick up a little bit here and there. I mean, it's only good for the show.
Yep. Yeah. It's definitely a good thing. I haven't really done it because it usually just kills me because then I like the whole next day is like wasted and then I'm just tired. My body just doesn't take the 24 hours.
Yeah.
As much as as obviously you have prepared your body a bit more for it than mine. So
yeah, it's more. I've been taking a lot more breaks lately. Every 2 minutes. 2 or 3 minutes here every hour, something like that. And I think that helped a lot because I've done stream that, and I tell you what helps the most, James, and it's fucking having somebody to talk to.
Oh, for sure.
Having somebody to talk to has been. I did one way early. I think within the first 6 months that I was doing the stream. I think we had my very first 24-hour stream was done at 800 followers. And I said, we'll do it again at 1,000. But we had that 3 days later. And I was like, holy fuck, man, I can't do another one here. So I set it for 2 weeks, 2 weeks apart. And I did the third one by myself. And I was miserable. Absolutely fucking miserable. About 10 hours in. And, of course, we were playing Diablo 3 at the time. So it kind of sucked. Fall asleep and still not die because you've just been trained so hard. But it was so hard to fucking do because I didn't have anybody in my ear and I didn't promote it the way I should have. And usually I give myself 2 weeks and I promote it 2 weeks out so people will know, hey, this is gonna be a 24-hour stream for this week. And but as soon as somebody showed up, I was right back in it. And God, for those first 10 hours, it was just awful. It was absolutely awful.
Yeah, I'll probably start doing some longer streams, especially when I get back. I want to do like a long birthday stream and more kind of longer streams. But I want to get my perfect schedule kind of in, and so that's one thing. But it's just like these 2 trips. I've never like really done 2 trips like this that I'm kind of gone, so it kind of sucks. And then for every day you miss streaming, it's like it takes 2 days to get back. So so trying to find out time to do that, and then just keep pumping out content in general. So.
And it was really hard for me when I went to when my dad had that heart procedure to be away for 2 weeks. It was awful. It was terrible. After TwitchCon last year, I was flying into Dallas, and then my grandmother was giving us her vehicle. Well, we went over to get it, and she had passed away overnight. So I was there for 2 weeks, and it was a pretty hard. It's pretty hard to get back into the flow of the things, and inevitably when you do, and you come back after being gone for a month or gone for a couple of weeks, that fucking ding dong in the chat. Well, how's it feel since the downfall? And I'm like, what the fuck you mean downfall? They're like, oh, your fucking channel's dying. I'm like, well, fuck you, get out of here, man. You're dying out of this channel. Get out of here. And then like immediately it turns around right after that. I'm like, well, bet you wish you hadn't said shit now, huh?
Yeah.
Fuck, it's kind of like, okay, I take that as a personal insult and a challenge.
Yeah. For sure. Yeah, that's why I'm just like, I want to get this. I'm excited to go to Vancouver, but I'm excited to get this back just so I can kind of get. Yeah. I really haven't been able to. I keep getting all these, all these interruptions, which kind of suck.
Man, they're opportunities, man. I mean, the opportunity to go to Russia was fucking phenomenal. It's a phenomenal opportunity to go over there. I know it. Do it once, and that's some opportunity that you'll probably, it's a once in a lifetime thing. I mean, you go over to Russia, man, go look at the sites over there and see some of the places, historic places over there, and then come back. Do it at least once, and then if you don't want to go again, fine. You can say that you've done it before. Going to Canada and shit like that. I've never been to Canada.
Yeah,
Never,
it's,
never,
it's gonna be fun. Never been to Vancouver, that's for sure.
Yeah.
So
Those are opportunities, and I wish there were more opportunities out there. So I plan for one thing, TwitchCon, and then I guess they're doing the Anchors Away tour, so I'll be going to some of those this year, down in the USS Texas, and then at Lexington. We're going down there for those, so that'll be a lot of fun too.
yeah, that'll be fun. Yep. But yeah, just want to get this over with, and then hopefully build the old sud numbers back to where they were, because they're lower than I want them to be. Let's just say that.
Dude, it's streaming is such an interesting thing. We were talking about this earlier today with another streamer from one of the TBD guys, the stream team that I'm a part of, and they were talking about he wanted to spend $600 or $700 on the Go XLR microphone and that Shure SM7B, this real overpriced bullshit. And I'm like, Go XLR is a fantastic product, but if you got 10 people in your channel, is it really worth it? And he's like, well, if I'm going to spend money on something, I'm going to get what I want. And I'm like, okay, whatever, man. It's your fucking money. But and it's I guess it's just difference in priorities. Because when I started, dude, I started with pretty much this camera and a fucking headset mic that sounded like ass. And it wasn't until somebody said, hey, you sound like ass, go get you a fucking microphone. I was like, all right, well, go get that go get that Blue Yeti or whatever, just to have a mic, even though the Blue Yeti is terrible. But it's a good starter microphone for somebody wanting to stream. And
that's why I enjoyed my little Audio Technica. Like I've thought about. I asked a couple people. I thought about. I have a laptop that could handle streaming, and so I've thought about bringing that to more stuff. But like, I'm going to DreamHack. I'll be going off hotel internet where people are there for tech things. So there's no way I'll get any like Wi-Fi that's gonna be stable. It would suck.
Well, Twitch mobile app, you can stream right from there. I've done a few of those, and they're actually pretty good. And then obviously, you can get the whole. I can get the fisheye lens, and I can get this shit, and you just add more shit to it. It's interesting. It's an interesting rabbit hole to go down to streaming.
Yeah, that's definitely something I want to do more in the future, though, is some more IRL stuff. But I just want to get some other stuff kind of focused on a bit more. But I'd like to have that as a potential in the repertoire, if you will, for
absolutely. I understand that.
have an option.
I mean, I'd like to get some more done, but like my town is so fucking small. If I show anything other than this one small area of town, you can find exactly where I live. And that's not something that I want. I don't want motherfuckers showing up at my goddamn house.
Yeah, like I don't live in the biggest of cities. Winston YouTube channel. That's something I want to work on for sure. Is a Winston, but we could do some IRL stuff for that. But
yeah. It's always a fun thing. So, what would you think would be ideal, knowing what you know now, because you've been streaming for a long time, like I have. Knowing what you know now, what do you think would you have done different as a starting out streamer?
Starting out, I would probably make YouTube content way more consistently and better, and focus on other things. I would do that. YouTube is the people who don't do YouTube and like YouTube content as well as Twitch content are really missing out. The not only just World of Warships in general, but
just in general. If you're a streamer, YouTube is very discoverable. They recommend this and the other thing if you play into the algorithm, but Twitch is not. So you have to cross promote yourself, and I think that I missed that boat as well. I'd throw little highlights and shit from the stream up there, but I never really cared about YouTube videos until people started asking me the same question 4 or 5 times a night, or 10 times a night, and I'm like, well, you know what? These people are obviously asking this same similar question over and over again. Maybe there's something there. So, hence the World of Warships for Beginners series. It just kind of spawned out of that.
Yeah, I would do that. I think one of my biggest regrets is not making YouTube videos just in general when I was in college. I was editing video anyway. I was recording video anyway in college. It was one of my biggest regrets for sure. But my YouTube channel has, I mean, just hit 2 big mile. I mean, we passed 2 million views, and we're on our way to 10,000 subs. So really excited for that. And then if you just stay consistent, it's, World of Warships, the audience is only so big, but still you keep making stuff out, and every video you put up is basically a billboard. Yeah. So it's a way to just sell your stream, and there's people constantly that are coming from YouTube. So yeah. So
YouTube has never been a big thing. Back before it was, back before they demonetized everybody under a certain threshold of subscribers. I'm like, shit, I might have 600 subs, maybe 500 subs over there.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's not important to me. I'll still throw it out there because people want to see something, but I don't dip into the algorithm, and it's such a pain in the ass typing in all those little tags and shit, and it's a fucking frustrating as fuck thing, man. So I generally just tag it with World of Warships, and that's about it. And it sucks.
Yeah.
It sucks, and their videos will never go anywhere. But hey, if I can definitely push people that direction from here if they have specific questions. That's the only way I promote it. So
yeah, for sure. No, I mean it's a great tool too, because like you said, there was, I mean, how many times we asked that, what do you use for captain builds on this, or what do you use for blah blah blah, or what do you think about this ship? And you can just say, oh, I did a video on that. You can, one of the mods want to post it, or post the YouTube channel, you can go check that out there, and then hopefully people are gonna click and click and click and click and go on. But yeah, just watching the views of the channel just kind of rise is pretty cool too. I love metrics like that. I think YouTube has great metrics to look at and compare stuff to.
They have some great analytics that you can get into. Twitch is weird sometimes, man. I'm not sure about the metrics for Twitch, honestly, man. They show some things, they show some past things, and I guess it's good for what it is, and for whatever fuck I look at, I can kind of tell. Where I'm at based on whatever says at the end of the night. But what did I do today? I think that's the biggest thing. What did I do today that was different than I did yesterday? And why did people show up today and they didn't show up tomorrow? You know what I mean?
Yep. So I don't. It's just. Yeah. It's just. I like looking at all the information, just kind of breaking down and seeing like how to grow there. Like just looking at analytics in general is a lot of fun. But hey, man, enjoy me being gone for this weekend.
You know it, man. I always do. I've noticed that's something that a lot of people don't realize about streaming is consistency in times. And then once you get
100%.
Yeah, once you get to a certain level of viewership, I always like, okay, now that you're at this level and you're getting close to that number for that partnership number, now you got to see. Now's the next step. You have to really commit to this, because you're going to have to do this over the next 4 to 6 months of streaming long hours, and then looking at who is streaming at the same time you are. What time do they get off? Maybe you push your times toward the end of their show, and then they can pick up the overflow after that. I mean, shit, that's how I did it, man. That and Dort left for deployment or some shit.
Yeah.
I mean, I was very lucky. I was very lucky at my time, because after I made partner, and I think there was another class after me, but then they took away the hosts and raids from your view count. Mm-hmm. So those don't count anymore. So I got very lucky with times.
Yeah, it's all about finding that. That's something that a lot of people don't do, is they just start. And I mean, if you can only stream 2 hours a day at a certain point, that's all you can do, then do that. But people really can potentially make a name for themselves and really grow if they actually start doing some research.
Yeah.
And really just observe for a couple of days of who's streaming when are they ending, is there a drought, of times.
Where's
And
the
honestly, that's
drought?
one of the reasons kind of why I'm changing up my time a little bit.
Yeah.
But also that also it's I just don't want to stay up super late. I want to kind of be a little bit more productive during the day.
I understand
So,
that, man.
yeah.
I know there was a drought about midnight to 4 o'clock in the morning. There was nobody, and well, there was a lot of people out there, but nobody was really carrying a whole lot. And why not me? So I just put myself there, and I've always streamed. I'll be honest with you, I've always streamed from 7 o'clock to whenever, anyway.
Yeah.
7. It was when I actually had a job, it was like 7 to 10. So I was only streaming 3 to 4 hours a night. And then once I lost my job, I went full board on it. So
Yeah. Yeah, it's that. But no, I'm excited to get back. I'm excited to grind. I'm excited to kind of just get everything rolling again. I like going on these trips, but man, it also does suck at the same time.
that's absolutely right. Twitch containers were a huge boost for the community.
Oh, for sure.
Huge boost for the community, and I'm glad that they brought him back. I'm glad that they brought him back, not quite to the extent that they had it before, because I thought it was fine, but everybody else was like, well, you know what? We just lost a lot of fucking economy and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, what are you caring about? You're giving away 90% of your content. What the fuck does economy mean? Anymore. Just give a bunch of free credits away. It's not like you can't go play 2 games and get 100,000 credits. If one game and get 100,000 credits.
Agreed.
Sign your name on the dotted line and you get 100,000 credits. I mean, holy shit.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, World of Warships. I mean, I think the Twitch containers alone got, I think, 3 or 4 people partnered or something like that too. So,
there was a few.
Yeah.
Do I stream? I wear shorts. I don't wear pants.
No comment.
I don't wear pants. I can tell you last time I put a pair of jeans on, man.
I wore jeans today. I had to go to the DMV today, man.
The hell
Because
for?
Update the plates and plate to tags and whatnot for my car.
Registration.
It's insane how many people just go there unprepared.
Yeah.
Like you have to do it every year, and people go up there and they're like, "Oh, I don't have that."
Do you get new plates every year?
Well, you have to get new tags.
New tag
in Michigan. So
plate
can stay the same. You just get the little thing in the top left.
We have to have our car inspected every year, and we have to bring that paper in, and then we get a little sticker that goes on the windshield.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, and that's every year. And honestly, dude, you can just mail that shit in, and they'll send it to you.
Yeah. This one was.
Here, I don't know about for there, but.
So no, we don't have to get our car inspected. We just have to basically pay a fee. We get an upgraded little sticker that's a different color, and then
people
we're
can
go.
just scrape it off and steal it and drive on.
they want to do that. I guess they're going to do it, but
yeah, they do that all the time. Oh, that's why Texas went away from them. They went from the tags on.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the tags on the license plate was the thing for a long time, and then they went to the in-car windshield.
Well, that's interesting. Yeah, up here it's not so much, because even if I got pulled over, I would still have because you get a printed out thing too.
Oh yeah,
so
yeah. You'd be fine. Somebody stole it, man. I seen some license plate out here in the shed. I guess my wife's granddad had a bunch of license plates over here, and they still got stickers from like 65 and 66, and there's just a whole bunch of fucking stickers all jammed on top of each other.
Yeah. It's like a half an inch thick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What mod is that? It's the Smoke X-Priv with the TFV-12 tank on top. Played a few battles tonight, but you see, so none of the new currency have not done something right. All right, so Happy Cracker, the new currency is you're only going to get it from tier 7 and above. At tier 6 and below, you're only getting coal.
Easy. And I think you have to win, right?
You have to win the game, yeah. So just co-op it, man. I'm recommending everybody co-op it because it's so easy and so fast. You get through a game, go in there, drop a torp, kill somebody, exit the game after you die, and then just go into the next boat.
Yep. GG.
Just go into the next boat, dude. Already got.
Well, broski, I think I'm gonna roll out.
All right, buddy.
Actually,
I
I'm not
appreciate
rolling
it.
out anywhere, but I'm gonna be working on other stuff so I can get ready for the trip.
Absolutely,
So,
man. And sorry about keeping you so long, man. I really enjoy
no,
our
it's good. It's good.
conversations, man. We have a
Fun.
good time.
It was fun. You enjoy the rest of your stream, and I will probably see you around tomorrow, or I'll probably hang out tonight at some point.
Yeah. I'll be here. I'll be here for a couple more hours at least. Guys,
stuff.
that's motherfucking Mejash, dude. Thanks again for coming on the fucking podcast, man. Mejash.tv or Mejash TV there on the Twitter at Mejash TV and then twitch.tv/Mejash. Guys, go check out his fucking channel. If you guys probably don't know who he is, I don't know where the fuck y'all been, man. He's been here longer than me. And all right, Mejash, thanks for hanging out with us, man. I'm gonna jump back in.
Looking forward to the 4th time, man.
Yeah,
3 down, more to come. Yeah.
Hell yeah. We can. I have to see what the schedule looks like. I don't have anybody scheduled for next month yet, but I know.
I don't know if I'm ready for that. I might need a cool down, a couple months maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe after TwitchCon.
Yeah, I think that's probably what I'm gonna do. I know there's gonna be about I probably won't do any of them in September, depending on what the news we have and everything. But I don't know. We'll probably stop a week before TwitchCon and then come back a week after TwitchCon and get back to it in October or something like that.
Yeah.
So,
Cool. All right, man.
But we'll play it by ear, man. I'll let you know.
Sounds good.
All
Enjoy
right.
your night.
Fucking
Bye, chat.
badass. See you later. See you later, Jace.
Bye-bye.
He's waving. Leave the